On it, 3, 2, 1, action. Hello and welcome to episode 51 of Nerds and Words. I have the distinct pleasure of being your host today, Tim Allen 1337, back again, and joined as always with some of my best friends here. Moreland TV's biggest fan, Moreland TV.
Glad to be here with Moreland TV.
I'm not gonna say that. Kerr. we had some interesting pre-podcast conversation.
Good choice, Tim. Good choice.
Yo, what's up?
Sorry.
It's nerds in words, not nerd in words.
Okay. Off to a good start as always.
And the man who is the most tempted to play Final Fantasy 14 because he wants to ride some big fat black chocobos, Potion Shop TV.
It is I actually do.
It's a really funny mount. It actually looks pretty cool. So we're changing things up here a little bit. Marlon put out a video and is certainly going to talk about in this podcast, and I'm going to kind of join him in putting BDO aside for a couple of us here, but the other half of us are still streaming video, one of nonstop and the other one just lives in the arena. So we're going to have a little bit more of an eclectic take on the podcast moving forward, especially since all four of us are going to be playing New Worlds. We're kind of breaking the chains of just being solely focused on BDO as streamers, content creators, gamers, whatever you want to refer to us as. So I think we all want to keep doing this podcast. Absolutely. We're all pretty good friends and enjoy catching up every week. And we enjoy you guys. And we know you appreciate this content and podcast. So we're going to start with BDO. We're going to keep up with BDO. But then we're going to move into other games, whatever happens in kind of the MMO world. So if you guys throughout the week have news about other MMOs or stuff like that, feel free to send it to us so we can have, kind of a more full podcast instead of just going over patch notes for the 20th time. I think that's the direction we've all kind of decided that we want to take and just see how it kind of organically goes. So without further ado, as we always do, start out this podcast with catching up with everybody. Kerr, how was your week, buddy?
Yeah, my week's been pretty nice. I've enjoyed not having to have a fucking chemistry tutoring session for 5 hours a day like I did all June since I took my final on Tuesday. So I got a lot of free time now. As far as like games I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley. My
really?
My girlfriend's a normie and she like doesn't know shit about games. So I introduced her to Stardew Valley and she's been obsessed. So that's been a thing. And then just playing some League of Legends on the side.
Do you call her a normie to her face, or is this like...
Dude, she has a fucking MacBook.
Oh.
She games on a MacBook. She's a normie. She doesn't even have a Windows PC. Like, typical normie, dude. It's crazy.
And you see, so it's just for the sex then?
It was almost a deal breaker, honestly. It was almost a deal breaker. Like, if she hated Stardew Valley, I was going to have to throw the whole girl away, honestly.
There's clearly no
whole
depth
girl?
in that.
The whole girl.
So, how are you enjoying Stardew Valley?
It's fun. I mean, Stardew Valley is one of those just like carefree games where you just kind of, kill time.
It's sort of like a farming simulator, like Harvest Moon type stuff, right?
Yeah. So it was basically Stardew Valley was made by one guy, and he made it after Harvest Moon, which was games from the old like GameCube and stuff. And it's like part of my childhood, so I enjoyed it.
I wanted to
I have
actually
like
try it
600 hours. I have like 600 hours in Stardew Valley.
Wow.
People have been trying to get me to play Stardew Valley for a long time.
It's honestly really good, man. It's really, really good.
I feel like I would put 600 hours into it, though. That's kind of the main reason I haven't started. Next time I have like an extra 600 hours, I'll probably check it out.
I mean, dude, they had, especially since they added multiplayer, a lot of times I'll just like hop on in Discord with some friends and we'll just like shoot the shit, drink, play some Stardew Valley. You can, up to 4 people can play at a time. It's really fun. Even more than that with mods. It's really fun.
I would put 600 hours into Stardew Valley if the sex was that good.
Cricket's macro.
Okay. All right. Moreland, how was your week, you piece of shit?
My week was interesting. I had a cathartic 2.5 hour rant about BDO, which is now on YouTube. So everyone's been asking me nonstop while I'm playing Final Fantasy if I'm quitting BDO or why I'm quitting BDO, and so that's all there now. If anyone cares, if anyone wants to watch it, it already got its first dislike in the first 30 seconds that it was up. So somebody really took the time to
I get it.
to hear me out on that one. But yeah, I mean, I'm expecting to get a lot of negativity from that. Anytime, you'd say you're quitting a game and people still like that game, they're gonna be mad at you about it. So I'm expecting to weather that storm. But it honestly feels really, really good to just have that video out and done. And it's all in one place. Everything I want to say, and I feel good, man. I feel like I'm excited to stream every day. Like when I was working on the video yesterday and putting it together and editing it and stuff, the whole time I was like, man, I just wish I could be streaming right now. There's so much more that I can do in Final Fantasy. Like there's so much more to look forward to. The community has been so good. And with BDO streams, it was like literally clocking in, right? It was like actually going to a job. And the whole point of streaming is to not feel like that. So like if I'm going to just go to a job, I'll go to one that actually pays. So yeah, it feels good, like actually being excited to play games again, being excited to stream again. And I feel like it's going to keep getting better.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see it. Like your streams have been popping off on the Final Fantasy community. People come into my chat and be like, yo, Moreland, he was looking at fish tanks and houses. And like they keep like giving me these like little updates and tidbits and stuff like that. And like I feel like I can definitely understand like having that weight come off your chest. Like there's been moments like that where you have in my life where I've had like something that was bothering me and had to go talk to my parents about it or whoever it was. And then once it's over, and all the drama's done, then it's like a huge relief. So I actually haven't watched your YouTube video, so I want to check that out probably after the podcast.
Yeah, I like that you actually did some lengthy and went into detail. I mean, obviously you had to in a 2-hour video. I haven't had a chance to watch it, of course, but
yeah, I mean, if people don't want to do the 2.5 hours, like there's a list. I basically put 11 points that summarizes everything. You can just go read that. It'll take you 5 seconds. But I mean, I might as well go into those things in depth. Like this is it, right? Like this is my chance to say everything that I want to say. So I wasn't about to make it a 20-minute video. Like what's the point? There's just way too much to say. This was honestly a 10-hour video that got cut down to 2.5. Like there was so much that I cut out of this video. It's actually insane.
Who is that guy that literally makes a new video like every year? Why I'm quitting BDO in 2018? Why I'm quitting BDO again in 2019? I can't think of that guy's name.
You talking about Lazy Peon?
Yes, Lazy Peon. It's always like a 5-minute, super low effort fucking video to clickbait and revenue. Like it's crazy. So I'm glad that you didn't go that route.
He has such a nice accent, though.
One of the previous CMs told me he got permanently banned from BDO. So was that in his video?
I think.
Fucking fine, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be a pretty good reason. Fucking cheater or whatever he did. Potion, how's the Infinite stream going? You fucking maniac.
We're over 777 hours. The jackpot has been reached. We're doing 144 more hours is what I have on the timer right now. I gotta say, I have done almost everything I ever thought I would want to do in BDO at this point. Yeah, I mean, my week this week was 10,000 family fame. I just got that done. Up to 611 energy. I got 60. Was it? What did I do? Oh yeah, I rolled my weapons from Sork to Ninja Awakening.
Wow, how's that been going?
I have no idea how to play the game anymore. Right, it's a mess. It's honestly a mess. I told my chat it'd be fine, and it has been a mess. So anyway, I'm playing a lot of Corsair right now, and that's been fun. Got to 61, and in typical BDO fashion, there's like some really cool stuff and some really bad stuff, and they said they'll fix it, and yada yada yada. The cycle continues, but I don't know. So anyway, that's been my week. 10,000 family fame, 611 energy. I actually got 600 energy this week. Rolled from Sork to Ninja, and what was the other thing I said? 10,000 family fame. So
That's crazy. 10,000 family fame.
I don't even know what that means.
it just gives you 2,000 marketplace capacity. It's like a console busing for free.
Oh, that's right.
Don't you get like 1.5% extra revenue for that too?
You get it at 7,000 family fame, so that's kind of nice. But it puts to
So
10,000.
you're way past that.
Yeah, the extra last little bits is for warehouse capacity.
Just think about it, though. This man has done nothing besides sleep, shit, eat, and play BDO.
I'm running out of options to things to do, so I figured maybe I'll just push for max energy next. I don't know.
You should get into bartering. That'll eat up all your time.
He just went on a bartering rant.
Yeah, I actually did.
Yeah, I poke in from pretty often, actually, to see what bad takes you have about this game. And about things you've never done, and your bartering one was A+ of bad takes on rants of bad takes of things you've never done.
I did 300 barters. I got my Caravel and
300.
I
300
and I got my improved Furious Sailboat, and then the Karak daily sucked, so I didn't make a Karak. And that's
Wait,
where it
that's
ended.
exactly what I did. That's exactly what happened to me, dude. I got to the Karak daily and I just quit bartering forever.
Yep.
I was squeezing my phone so hard I thought I was going to break it when you were saying that. And I was going to type, so have you ever bartered? But I already knew the fucking answer, so I didn't even bother, and I just let you do your
300
little
barters
stream.
is more than enough. I unlocked like 3 trade routes. It's fine. I know there's a ship in the middle of the ocean. That's the Crow ship.
That's like saying you played the game up to Helms, past Calpheon, and then quit because the
That's a
PvE
smart
was-
person right there.
Because there's no
That's a
end game.
That's a smart person. Whoever did that, that's a smart person.
Does it really change that much after Helms? Let's be honest.
Oh, okay,
No,
all
definitely
right,
not.
Moreland. All right. Not much.
Anyway, that's
You
my
are in a
week.
good mood today. I had a pretty good week. I came back to BDO for the Gear Caps PvP, right? And I realized that my last couple streams, I turned off my stream and I never wanted to stream again, which is only a feeling I have after I stream BDO. I used to message Mermaid on Tap after my BDO streams and be like, I'm never gonna fucking play this game again. I'm never gonna fucking play this game again. And so I realized that even when I was streaming Star Wars Galaxies to 25 people, I was so happy. I was just happy when I ended my streams. And then, when I ended BDO streams. So I realized halfway through that I'm probably not really, if arenas come through, I might boot it up again, but I'm not going to be like, I hard quit, but I'm probably not going to stream BDO anymore.
Yeah.
And I realized this halfway through my stream yesterday. I didn't say anything, but what I did instead is I realized that you can coupon. So here's a really cool thing. I don't know if everybody really understands this compass thing in BDO. I got my Corsair to 61, right? I did the skip thing. And then I created a new Guardian, got it to level 7 so you can see chat and stuff. And then I took all my Corsair's gear off. I got the compass, used the compass, and it unseasoned my level 61 Corsair, kept it level 61 with all of its inventory and skill points and everything, and then made my Guardian level 61 with the skill points outside of those books you get from quests. Did not get the waiter inventory swapped over. But now I have 2 level 61 characters. Guardian is season, Corsair is not.
Wait, what?
That's cool, right?
That's how the compass works. Yeah, it is.
The Fugaros timepiece,
It's pretty cool.
As someone who likes leveling in BDO, it's something I would love to take advantage of. And the way they designed it is only new players can take advantage of it because you have to be 25 or lower on the ult. And since I have all 61 plus characters, I can't use it. But the way it works is it literally just duplicates your EXP that you grinded on seasons. So if you grind like a madman, you use all your EXP buffs. You can get 3,000 hours of effective grind time with all the EXP buffs and everything by the end of the season. and then you can duplicate that on an ult. So you can get like 63 on seasons, and then have 2 63s with 2 63 skill points. It's so broken. So I went on a nice long rant, and then was angry for the rest of the stream. So
that's BDO.
Tim, so I hear from outside sources that the reason you want to quit is because you got farmed on season.
No, I'm about to finish this story. If you can shut the fuck up and let me finish, you toxic little. So I named my guardian.
Tim. You're on edge today.
I am. I'm very.
I think that is a yes.
Listen, dude, we're Final Fantasy streamers now. Okay, you gotta be nicer than that.
Well, that's why I didn't finish the sentence, because I'm reformed.
I'll believe that when I see New World. And
okay,
shit.
Can I finish my fucking story? So I named.
How was your week?
I named my guardian Tim Never Fails. Went out to Arsha on a 61 guardian with 1,000 skill points. Talked a bunch of shit. 1v5 just about everybody at Polly's. People were sending me the angriest messages because of my name. It was beautiful. It was super fun. And I just I blew up so many stacks. I used artisan memories. I used every crown stone I had to get as much gear as I possibly could. I was 245 AP and like 290 something DP. I couldn't get my home to go pen to save my fucking life. And I just kind of went out with a bang. I was, toxic and killing people and getting angry messages the whole time. And man, I had fun. I got farmed a little bit, but I must have killed probably 50 different individuals and, 200 kills or something, and probably died 50 to 75 times. It was just a fucking brawl. I had a good time. But I realized, like, going into all that, I really didn't care. I 3-0'd Cho Nation's Guildmaster, Corsair v Corsair. Wasn't even fucking close. So dominated that guild. They're in shambles.
They're probably going to disband this week.
Yeah. Well, I asked him for an invite, but I think it was his pilot because he didn't respond. But
he's not piloting on the first day of Corsair release.
Well, it was the 3rd, 4th.
Okay.
And it was like 3 a.m. in mainland China, and Cho Nation's a Chinese guild, so it kind of all adds up, dude. No, I'm being toxic, but I did shit all over him. So I don't know. I walked away from that stream feeling pretty good. Like, I don't know if I need to do this again. I was fully expecting to wake up to like your character name needs to be changed, but that didn't happen. I'm kind of upset about it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna apply to join the new player experience season only guild, Average Joe's. See if I can get in.
I'm just so glad that we're still making these jokes after all this time.
I thought you and him made up, bro. Like, what
Holy
the fuck?
Shit. So, next topic.
Yeah, so anyway, I haven't referenced that on this podcast at all, so I get my one little thing. So yeah, I'm playing Final Fantasy 14. We've got 20 days until New World. We've got about 60 spots filled. I think a couple more people signed up yesterday. So I have to go through and update the roster a little bit. So I'm super excited for New World. I'm sure we'll get into that later. But I've spent a lot of time today and a little bit yesterday trying to get to know some people in the Final Fantasy community. I know Mr. Happy. We hung out at TwitchCon a little bit. He's actually my first sub on Twitch. He's like the person I was like, I could do what he's doing. I like him. So he was actually a big inspiration. So it almost feels pretty cool to be where I am and to be really enjoying Final Fantasy. And I feel like the first time I played this game, I didn't really have like the patience for MMOs that, ironically enough, BDO taught me. So I'm really looking forward to digging into this around New World. Hopefully New World lasts like real long, but if it doesn't, then this is where I'm going to come back to, and I'm going to continue to play it on top of, around, inside of, underneath of New World too. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I've been seeing the game too. Like, I think there's a lot of MMOs that are going to have huge releases this year, but I don't know if they're going to last in the long run. Whereas FF14, I feel like it's been around for a while. It's got staying power. There's clearly so much time that I could sink into this game. Like I can already see between all the different jobs and the story and everything, I can already see thousands of hours of content here. So it's like, this is something that I feel like I can always come back to if other games fizzle out or if they don't live up to expectations. My expectations with Final Fantasy 14 so far have just been absolutely shattered. Like I almost tried this game years ago, and the reason I didn't is because all I ever heard people say was, "Oh, you're gonna hate the combat. There's a 2.5 second global cooldown. Like it's so slow, it's so boring, and the story's too long, and it takes too long to get into rating." And it's like, I that just seems to me like how I'm kind of baffled at how people missed the point that widely. I mean, like the game is so much more than just combat. I barely even do combat in this game. I'm spending my time like going through story mode, just walking around Ul'dah on the Balmung server, just like looking at people's glamours and like role playing with random strangers and goofing off and like I spent like 6 hours in Gold Saucer playing card games and gambling money. Dude, like the game is just such a solid RPG, and like I don't understand this like single-minded obsession with level 80 rating. Like I'll get to that when I get to it. Like we're skipping the other 98% of the game. I feel like people just are so obsessed with this one particular feature, and it's like, dude, if I want a hard PvE game, there's plenty. I'll go do another Deathless Dark Souls run. Like this is a solid RPG in so many different ways. The production quality of this game is absolutely just 12 out of 10 everywhere I look. Like it's crazy to me that this game got so much negativity for so long. I really wish that I'd tried it a long time ago.
I don't think it was the game that it is now a long time ago, because I played before A Realm Reborn. And like that whole like farm the leaf quests and like kind of a weird story. And it was basically a jogging simulator. It was basically like from my recollection, and I'm sure other people have better recollection on this than I do. It's basically like the Daisy of MMOs, where it's just a big jogging simulator. And so it was really hard to like it before then. And then I remember thinking there's absolutely no way this trash game is ever going to turn into anything. After that disaster of an attempt of Final Fantasy being an MMO, because MMOs were kind of meta back then. And it did a pretty good job. They've had some good expansions. They've had some bad expansions, but like from what I understand, the last 2 expansions have been probably the best 2 expansions.
Well, there's only 3 expansions total. They remade the whole game. And so, I mean, if people played the first version before they remade it, I understand that was a dumpster fire.
Right. Well, the first expansion of A Realm Reborn was apparently not great, is from what I've been able to glean. And the base game for me was slow and a little uninspired, even though the story was pretty cool. And it sounds like that the expansions have really brought this together. They brought in housing, they brought in all this kind of different stuff. So it's definitely,
the combat's definitely slow early, which I don't necessarily mind the slowness, because I've played lots of MMOs with slow combat. I mean, I played EverQuest 1 that's way slower than this game. But what bothers me about the combat is actually the lack of like danger. Like it's way too easy. I feel like they dumbed it down too much. But I don't mind the slowness. Like there's other ways to make combat interesting besides just hitting 300 buttons a second.
Yeah, and when you said that last week, I remember thinking, I really do need to give this game like a solid try. And the community here is so nice. They're wholesome. They're not like, wholesome might be the wrong word, but they're reasonable people for the most part. It seems,
so like, how is the like? So in like a lot of older MMOs, you just play and you just meet random people doing random shit that like the same stuff you were doing, and like you just strike up conversations and time would just melt away. Like, what's that like in Final Fantasy, right? Like the random encounters with other people and stuff.
Kurt, you should make a character in Ul'dah and just walk around talking to people. It is so alive, dude. There at any given time on this server, there's like 300 people just standing around the tavern or standing out in the streets. There's bards playing, Dragon Force music, and like there's people who put whole bands together where they have like violin, guitar, and flute like all playing the same song, and like people are in the street, like cheering them on and stuff. There's random role players talking about storylines that I don't understand. There's, like Tim is dressed as a bunny girl going around like trying to seduce everyone. It's it's so hard to even describe, man. You got to just like kind of like just walk around and experience. It doesn't feel like any town in an MMO that I've felt in a long, long time. I mean, towns in like UO used to feel like this way back in the day, where you would just run into people and like everyone was talking to everyone. And but nowadays in MMOs, it's like towns are just people AFK at the auction house, and like that's it, right? Like, this server feels so alive, man.
What causes that to happen where they're like people are just naturally in town doing that? Like, what's the?
They just love the game. Like, they love the atmosphere. They love the story of the game. They love the setting. And like it just makes you want to, like, I don't know. I'm playing this little 2 foot tall Lalafell thing.
Yeah, your character looks weird as hell, dude.
He looks amazing.
Ooh, take it back.
And yeah, I just like go around saying like weird things to people, and seeing if I can like get a reaction out of them. And I'll like cheer for people who have like sick looking gear. I'll ask them where they got their stuff, and then if someone else looks ridiculous, I'll tell them how ridiculous they look. Like, I don't know, you just like you just got to walk around and experience it.
So like when I started streaming the BDO, right? And nobody came up and like gave me advice or gave me items. I know you can't trade in BDO, right? But like there was nobody came up and wanted to engage with me. I likely was told to kill myself or something playing BDO. honestly, right? When I went to Star Wars Galaxies, I wasn't even outside of most easily the starting city before somebody gave me some of the rarest items you can possibly have, and 2 other people delivered items for me to grind with and money. I've been streaming Final Fantasy 14 for 51 minutes total now, and within 15 minutes, somebody came up to me, no idea who they are. They didn't acknowledge who they were in chat or anything like that. Just gave me gil. Like, hey, so traveling's easier, whatever the case is. Just gave me some fucking money. And I think that's the kind of the market difference between, to answer your question, Potion, is it's the players, right? The players don't hate the game. BDO players.
I mean, but I don't think that confrontation between players is a bad thing. Because when I started playing BDO, that was honestly the only reason I'm still here to this day is like, Black Rose members being fucking assholes. So then I just wanted to push gears so I could fuck them up. Like I think that's kind of different, though, right?
That was way deeper into the game. Like, by the time you were getting griefed by Black Rose, how far into the game were you? If your first experience in an MMO is just 30 people being, it's pretty. I mean, if your first experience in an MMO is just people being negative and toxic, if you're already like a confrontational PvP minded player, then yeah, that probably doesn't bother you. But if you're actually trying to make a game that's like an RPG that has a decent community, it's one of those things that's going to quickly become like a self-reinforcing cycle in either direction, right? Like either you interact with a player and you have a positive experience and it makes you more positive towards others, or you interact with a player and you have a negative experience and it makes you more negative towards others. And both of those things will rapidly reinforce each other. And I think in Final Fantasy 14, like both the community and the moderators in the game kind of go out of their way to make sure that that heads in the right direction. I think they're probably a little bit too like sensitive and snowflakey sometimes, but I get why they're doing that, right? They don't want the community in this game to be like the community from WoW or BDO or these other, like, trying to talk to random people in WoW Classic is miserable, dude. It is really, really hard to have any positive interactions with anyone in that game under any circumstances whatsoever. And like in BDO, most of the people you talk to are just AFK. And if you do see someone in a grind spot, only reason you're interacting with them is to take the spot from them. Like, there's not a lot of reasons to have emergent reactions with people in BDO. There's not a lot of reasons to have a good interaction with someone in BDO. There's not really anything you're cooperating on. There's not really like a story or a setting to rally around. You're kind of just out there doing your own thing and then occasionally fucking up someone's rotation. Like,
I guess what I'm curious about is if it's a positive reinforcement loop, where does that start at? Like, I would generally think that starts at like grind spots or whatever like, how do you like start the game? Like, is it like the first 30 minutes, like you meet other people and like you talk to them, or like how does that? Because in BDO, the first thing you do is you log in
Yeah,
and you have to
so-
fight other people for wolves, and you're like, or foxes or whatever, and you're like, stop killing my foxes, you know? And then that just, I can see how that spirals out of control pretty quickly, because at that point you just hate everybody else in the game.
Well, yeah, so they don't, BDO can't make up its mind on whether it wants scarcity in the open world. They have these systems where spawns are limited and rotations are limited, but then they also want to punish people for PvPing. It's very weird. They don't know what they actually want to do. This game is very clear. When you meet someone in the open world, it's a cooperative endeavor. You're not trying to steal mobs from each other. If you hit a mob that someone else hits, then you'll get basically XP based on how much damage you do, and you can group up, and like it's not that scarce. The spawns are fast. You're not like running out of things to kill. It's not super overcrowded. I don't know if this changes later in the game, but for the most part, when you see someone in the open world in this game, you just like group up and do whatever the objective is. They have these timed open world quests that give you bonus XP and stuff, and if someone else is there, you'll just group up, and it's not like WoW Classic grouping where you invite them, you kill the quest mob, you disband, you never say a word to each other. In this game, people will walk up to you, they'll invite you to the group, and they'll be like, hey, what's up, how you doing, like how do you like that class you're playing, like how's it feel so far. They're just social, man. They just like they they're just having fun, and they feel good, and they feel positive, and that affects the way they interact with people around them.
I feel like I should try Final Fantasy just so I can know why that's different than BDO, because I'm really like, I love understanding why things work the way they work in a game, and I feel like that'd be a really interesting experience trying to figure out how they engineered that.
So I'm in the main city right now, and there's a very muscular man with sunglasses, a man thong, and sandals, and he's standing there acting like he's hot. He's just standing there for no reason. Everybody's in this big kind of cantina, just chilling. There's some bards playing. We call it Happy Birthday, but it's really copyrighted music. That they all kind of formulated themselves, and it's not very busy in here right now. But there's people talking and literally just hanging out. And from what I understand, the Balmung server is probably a little bit more unique like that. People have described it as culture shock. But it's such a breath of fresh air from, the toxicity and the aggressiveness that and you're right? Like there is a mindset, and that is sometimes a desirable experience. But for me, I came from Darkfall to BDO. So I'm like 6.5 to 7 years of basically hating every single fucking player that comes across my screen. And anybody who I've ever run a guild with, been friends with, or had a relationship with outside of the people in this Discord call and my stream moderators have backstabbed me, or whatever the case is, right? It's always been negative.
I'm just waiting for the chance to steal your guild from you in New Worlds.
So
I've been biding my time for
you're basically
years.
playing on Caltheon.
Well, I'm naming
then.
it Aftershock, so like the prize is basically a pile of dog shit.
Tim, you do realize that we're joining Scar's guild just to spite you, right?
Go fuck yourself, kid.
Oh my god.
That's all right. You'll win 0 Hamlets or whatever, and you're gonna pay the highest fucking taxes, and you're gonna have to eat my shit on a daily basis. We won't be on the same server. We're gonna play Central. He's gonna play West Coast.
So you're playing on basically like the Caltheon 2 server then, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
every
pretty
game's
much.
got its like RP area or server or something like that. And I was a little hesitant when Moreland picked it, and I'm like, this actually might be pretty interesting. And it was like within 5 minutes, I'm like, why would you play on a different server? And from what I've gathered from the community is that when server transfers like happen, so many people are coming here to check out like what's been going on and stuff. Like this is kind of the place.
It's an OG server, a legacy server.
Bro, I need to
Yeah.
check
So
out.
how long until you guys are listening to weeb ass music? It's a slippery slope, bro.
I don't know. That's an interesting conversation I've heard
Dude,
a
the
couple
music
times today.
in this game is unbelievable, bro.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever played a single player Final Fantasy game?
Yeah,
I
a long
played
time
Final
ago. One of
Fantasy
the
15.
old ones.
I played
Okay,
15.
well, they always have fantastic soundtracks. I mean, the soundtrack to Final Fantasy VII, like, is just like it's you can listen to that shit over and over again forever, and it never gets old. Everywhere you go in this game, there's just some 10 out of 10 composed, like beautiful background music, the combat music, the boss fights that I've watched some videos, like the tracks that go along with some of these raids. Dude, you get a crazy, like the atmosphere and the feeling that you get just from being in the world in this game, walking around. It's so well crafted.
I have to say, I watched their new trailer, Final Fantasy Endwalker full trailer, or whatever. Holy smokes! After watching that, I was like, bro, I'm ready to jump in right now. I watched that, and people
I don't even know what's going on in that trailer, but I love it.
People, we were watching the trailer, and my entire chat was like, "Oh my god, what is this game? I have to play it right now." That's what. That was basically like the response of it. It's just such an incredible thing.
I don't know if it's weeb. So what I was saying is like, I don't know if this is like really weeb stuff. The best description I've heard after browsing Twitch for a couple days is that, you know, it's Japanese, so it's supposed to be weeb, right? But it's a Japanese game trying not to be weeb. And I kind of agree with that, where it's still got that culture and some of that stuff integrated into it because it is part of the culture, but it's literally trying not to be. And it's an interesting, I've never even really considered the word weeb with this whole game at all. I've just been like, oh, that's right. It kind of should be, is a little bit like the small people and the bunny ears and stuff.
If you've played Final Fantasy games before, like Final Fantasy has cultured a unique vibe with their games, and definitely Final Fantasy 14 continues that tradition.
But I mean, anime, Japanese, and Korean games, like all that stuff, right? All that stuff packaged it together. They all share melodrama, right? That's the thing that they really, I don't want to say harp on, but like excel at, I guess, or it always exists within the games. It's one of the core tenets of it. And so like within the dialogue, you still find that melodrama, but the worlds is hard to describe. It's very alive and very unique, and there's a ton of vision to it. And all the different, even though you're going in different biomes and stuff, it all makes sense for some reason. It's all just tied together. And maybe it's a little bit of me being a big Final Fantasy fan throughout my entire life. But they've always kind of excelled. You know, all what they've done well with all the Final Fantasy games is really tied into a living, breathing world filled with people that are rewarded for being respectful and positive to each other. So it brings forth this like really positive, alive area.
Tim, it's so weird to hear this from you, dude. Like,
I really wonder
I get
how
what
you're
you're
gonna
saying, but holy fuck, bro.
Look, BDO brings
This
out the
game
worst
is going to
in me. That's why I'm
reform
quitting.
Tim.
BDO brings out the worst in me, and it's why I'm quitting. It absolutely. I log off streams. I log off streams, and I go, oh God! If I never say these people's name again, I would be so fucking happy. Or if I never see this guild name again, if I never see that, it gets under my skin. It's been years and years of it. And the worst part is I accomplished everything. I know it's a meme, but like owning all 5 territories was literally what I wanted to do in that game. In the past year and a half, or however long it's been since Aftershock 2.0, I've been done, man. There's been nothing else for me to do except for like hang out with chat. That's the only reason I've been here. It's time for me to put my big boy pants on, play some games I like, and stop being such a toxic piece of shit all the time.
I don't think that's changing, Tim.
Here.
Go fuck yourself, Potion Shop, you little fucking troll, pale ass.
See,
Man,
vitamin D needing motherfucker.
Vitamin D needing motherfucker. I mean, I'm always Tim, right? But putting me, who I really am, and putting me in an environment of a different environment, you're gonna see more of who I actually am than just flag up, bitch, you know, kind of.
So, are you going to get banned after 1 week, 2 weeks?
I'm not even going to use
it's
the
pretty
C-word
easy
in this game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty easy to get banned in this game. You got to watch it. I actually did have a toxic interaction at Gold Saucer though, and it was really enjoyable because I was just like complete RP responding to everything this guy said. So I did a draft tournament for Triple Triad. And I won my first tournament, and one of the guys that I beat was upset that I won. I don't remember why. I think he said I got lucky or something, which is probably true. And he challenged me afterwards, and I was like just RP talking to him the whole time. And I was like, well, you know, I already beat you in the tournament. We don't need to keep having rematches until you get lucky. And he just got so mad and was like calling me a pussy and a bitch and following me around the Gold Saucer. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know people could do that on this game. I'm pretty sure this guy's about to get to catch a ban. And then he ended up he ended up apologizing afterwards, and he gave me a pet and a party, like a, I don't know what to call it, like a noisemaker. It was
Have you ever
very cute.
considered maybe you're just not very polite?
Forced.
No, I was
Forced
extremely
compliance.
polite.
Forced
I was
compliance.
RPing the whole time. I was speaking in proper punctuation and everything to this guy.
I don't think I've ever done that in my entire life.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, he gave me a cookie too. That's true.
So what's the PvP like?
Dog
Terrible.
shit.
Yeah, haven't heard anything good about it. But apparently it's getting reworked in the next expansion, which is like November. So
Ooh.
I think if they, I mean, judging at how much they've improved other parts of the game, like this game has quite the track record of taking something that starts off pretty bad or mediocre and polishing it into something that is incredibly well made. So if they actually take the time and focus on making PvP a thing in the next expansion, I think it's got a good chance of being good. But
wouldn't that be insane if this game had good PvP? Like, I'm so excited. I think the PvE in this game rivals WoW in a. It's probably surpasses WoW, honestly, in my opinion. But I ran out that WoW gauntlet so hard it's painful for me to put that shoe back on. But I'm really looking forward to the raids but I'm trying to temper myself to not rush there. I think that's a really good idea. I've been trying to keep up with Moreland, but he has more time to play this than I've had. So now I'm going to slow down and just enjoy it.
I'm going to be getting sidetracked in so many different directions in this game. It probably won't be that hard to keep up with me because I'm going to be doing like 15 jobs at once.
It's like my girlfriend went to sleep. I'm fucking tired, and I just have like an hour and a half to like bang out some shit real quick before I pass out at my desk on my laptop. You know, in a room with no furniture. So
the odds of me actually doing one thing for more than an hour in this game right now are very low.
Yeah, I need to go to the casino and stuff, man. Like,
oh, dude, it's so
I don't know where any of it is, but
you gotta start making a card deck so we can battle.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. I was talking to you a little bit yesterday when I was streaming, so I didn't get to go too in depth with it. But I'm really happy that you're doing this, and it gave me the, I guess strength is the word, or the confidence to be able to do it too. I tried to leave BDO, and then I got sucked back into it. SWG obviously wasn't the answer, but to have a friend playing an MMO with a friend, you know, and we can make content together and stuff like that. I'm genuinely excited about it. I hope it's not a nuisance to you, but I'm looking forward to be able to build a deck and, you know, all the social things that this game has to offer before, during, and after New World. So it should be fun.
I'm really curious what the content cycle is like because like content cycle in BDO is like they release Corsair, they release season, like once a year they release a new region maybe, and then maybe they do Hadoom updates. So what does the content cycle look like in Final Fantasy 14?
So in Final Fantasy 14, there is such a insane well of like baseline content. If you start playing the game, the amount of time you're gonna have to spend before you run out of things to do is kind of unfathomable. But if you do play the game full time and you max out all the jobs you want to max eventually, and et cetera, it's kind of like, I guess, it's a bit like the WoW content cycle where there's like a major expansion every 2 years and then there's content patches in between those. I don't know how often those come out, maybe every few months or so there's content patches, but I definitely don't get the sense that people in this game are like starved for things to do. I don't think I've heard that complaint once.
What level are you guys at?
Mid-20s.
Yeah, my highest level is 20 something, and then I'm like between level 5 and 15 on like 20 other classes. So.
Okay.
And then like classes combine into different things. Like I'm a Thurga, whatever. I can never pronounce it. And that turns into a couple different jobs, like advanced jobs. So I'm going to be a black mage because it's apparently like there's a low skill floor, but a high skill ceiling to it. So I'm looking forward to, I've never been a mage in an MMO for all the MMOs I've played. I think playing an enchanter in EverQuest 1 to like level 45 is the only caster I've ever really played in an MMO. Instead of
that's a hard class though.
It was, but like I didn't do any in-game content with it. I just like debuffed and had fun, and it was mostly about the outfits and scamming people with casinos with Enchanted. You know, the gear that you could make that would make you look higher level. So, dude, I stole so much platinum from people on live. It was 12. So yeah, no, it's you know, there's a lot of different jobs, and it seems like most things are viable, and then, you know, there's varying degrees of difficulty. So, you know, if you want to be a tryhard, you can be a tryhard, and there's classes that are really well known for like looking cool, like red mage and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's something for, it seems to be something for everybody. And I wanted to be a mage, and I'm glad that it's got a high skill ceiling, you know, for the parse, for the damage meters that we're maybe not allowed to use, but how else am I going to know if I'm killing it?
True.
It's what I've heard about the DPS meters is that you're allowed to use them. You're just not allowed to harass people if their DPS is low.
I'm going to keep
Tim,
mine off.
shut the fuck up, dude. You were literally a wizard in BDO.
Yeah, that
I don't
doesn't
wanna hear that
fucking
shit.
count. That doesn't count. I was a meta slave. I wasn't a fucking mage. I was a meta slave. Right? Like a real MMO, not some Korean action fucking casino pump me full of money daddy thing.
Okay.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm really curious, like hearing from you guys every week about like what the experience is, like what's changed, what you've learned about, what you like, and like as opinions develop. Because I mean, I feel like even BDO for like a new player, it's sort of like ignorance is bliss for like, you know, a month to 6 months, something like that. And I'm really curious, like what that looks like. That same experience, because we know what that looks like in BDO, but I'm really curious what that looks like for someone in Final Fantasy.
Well, I'm frustrated with myself for not giving it. I keep using the word internally towards myself, mature. And maybe it was age the last time I played this, or maybe it just was literally a lack of MMO experience, or maybe it's just perception and being, you know, playing hardcore PvP toxic MMOs. But coming back to this game, I'm mad at myself for not giving it more of a chance than I did.
Mm-hmm. I always kind of judged it based on its graphics, and I didn't like the combat in WoW, so I figured I wouldn't like Final Fantasy.
That's kind of the common knowledge, and like it takes 30 minutes of playing this game to realize the differences. Maybe an hour.
I also had a roommate who played it, and I was playing BDO, so I didn't want to. I was like, nah, I can't let him admit that he picked a better MMO than me. So that was the reason why.
Such a weird dude. No, I don't think it's better. I think it's markedly different, and I think that's what. I don't want to speak for Marlon, but I think that's what we're both looking for at this point. Is just, you know, there's a couple things that he said that's resonated with me that made me, you know, like, hey, maybe this would be good for me and not kill my stream and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, people liking the game is a big one. You know, having a community that likes the game that they're playing. You know, until you really internalize that and realize that so many of the people that play it are just, you know, they just go, well, everything's shit. And it's amazing how little there is crossover, but people who play BDO that used to play 14 are so quiet about it. They don't really just go, man, you know, you're talking about playing other MMOs. You should really take a look at 14. Nobody does that in the BDO community.
It's actually why. It's crazy how many people have not only played Final Fantasy 14, but played it for like hundreds or like thousands of hours, and I never knew it. Like now that I'm
coming
playing
out of the
Final
woodwork,
Fantasy, yeah, everyone that used to play BDO or everyone who's followed the stream is like, hey, bro, I got you know, I have 8 level 80s in that game. If you ever need a healer or a tank or a DPS or literally anything, just let me know. And I'm like, what? I had no idea like how popular this game was with the community, because people just never really talk about it. All I ever heard was people say, oh, you're gonna hate the combat.
I'm curious to see how long the honeymoon phase lasts, because with every new game there is a honeymoon phase.
True.
I'm just curious to see how long it lasts, or maybe it never ends. You know,
I'm curious to see. From what I've heard, like if this is true, like you basically play the game, enjoy the game, and then you're just out of things to do. So then, like you like, I mean, Morland said there's like an infinite wealth, but like most people like
well, it's just like what you're doing with BDO. Right? Like you can go get all 17 resistance relics. You know, you can just farm all of them out. And that's what a lot of the full-time streamers seem to be doing right now, is farming these relics out. I have no idea how to get one, but Mr. Happy just got his last one, and it was a big fucking deal. And somebody else has 12 out of 17 and shit like that. So there are like these really grandiose, large things that you can grind in this game. This does have grind in it, just like all Final Fantasies have. The core tenets of Final Fantasies are here. So I respect the like honeymoon thing, but this was a big decision for me personally. I knew I was going to go to New World. I knew I couldn't stream Star Wars Galaxies forever and ever because the game's literally been dead for 10 years.
Sure.
And I didn't know what I was going to do before and after. And I thought the answer was BDO capped gear. And then, I watched Moreland stream this and I go, holy fuck, I got to try it. All right, I'll try it. And I tried. I go, this is it. And then watching how nice people interact with each other, not only in its chat, but BDO people going, oh yeah, man, I've got hundreds of hours. And then all this kind of stuff kind of fell together. And it's like, maybe this is the new basis to kind of get a new start and not have to, I don't have to decide between my stream and enjoying video games, which is what it used to be. So I've got a good plan. I'm excited for it. And it's not going to be the same negative, toxic bullshit that, it physically affects me. So I'm looking forward to getting away from that.
That is so true. Having to choose between the stream and enjoying video games.
Yeah.
That's how I felt for so long in BDO, man. Like every day when I fired up the stream, I'd be like, okay, can I get away with playing something else today? Or do I have to go back to BDO to, maintain my viewers and stuff? Like I can't tell you how good it feels to just not have to worry about that and just actually have fun.
I hope it lasts for you guys, honestly. I'm glad to see you guys like playing something because for a while, Moreland, I know it was like you could tell soul sucking. Yeah, like you could tell that you were just like, I guess I can mask it by enhancing. I like enhancing, right? I can make 10 black stars.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that you're finding something.
It was like every couple of weeks you'd go in and watch Moreland stream, and he's like in the first level of hell. Now he's in the second level of hell. Now he's in the third and the seventh and the 13th level of hell.
Definitely built up for way too long.
I mean, I definitely like. So I haven't been streaming near as long as you have, Moreland, right? And only been going 3 years in BDO, and I honestly can't imagine what it would be like to be 2 years down the road and in the same place that I am, right? Like that's like almost an unfathomable thought for me.
I'm pretty sure I streamed BDO longer than anyone on Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, you were like the first one.
You've only been doing this for 3 years, Potion?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. I think I'm partnered for 3.5 now. God, time flies.
Well, I haven't been. I mean, I was streaming, I think, longer than, but it's like only I only been full time for maybe 3 years now. I have to go look it up. So it's like it happened like I think this month is when I got partnered, like 3 years ago, roughly.
Oh, congratulations!
Something like that.
Yeah,
I'm coming up on my 5-year partner anniversary in a few weeks here.
Wow.
Yeah,
bro. You said about Mr. Happy, right? And how it was like your streamer that you watch, and it's kind of fun to be in the same community and all that. Now, Moreland was that for me in BDO. I go in his chat, and I would be like, he wouldn't read what I said, and so I'd be like, here's $5. Read what I said. I need to know what's the best node. Tell me what the best node is. And that was like me when I first started playing BDO for like the first 2 years.
Can I tell you a quick personal story? So at TwitchCon in 2019, I'm sitting there. I was in the partner lounge, and it was beautiful, right? It was in San Diego, and San Diego is gorgeous. Always has great weather. And I'm sitting out on the balcony, just drinking coffee, looking at all the top Twitch streamers. XQC basically lived in there the whole weekend. Anyway, I moved back inside for a little while, and there's Mr. Happy sitting there by himself, just texting at his phone, and like. I don't really get starstruck, but I was like, this is the guy. Like, this is the fucking guy. And so I walk up to him and I'm like, hey, man, I just got to tell you, like, you were my first Twitch sub. Like, such a big reason of why I'm streaming is because I don't talk, but I watch all the time, all that kind of stuff. He goes, wow, Twitch rival and partner. Looks like you did pretty well. And I'm like, yeah. And so we have like a 90-second exchange, maybe 2 minutes. And I'm like, all right, man, I appreciate it. I just wanted to say, hey, he's like, I don't have my meet and greet for like another 20 minutes. Sit down, have a coffee with me. And we just talked about, he was so fucking nice. It was unbelievable. It was so cool. I would have if he asked. No, it was cool, man. And like,
no, I understand for sure.
It's
Moreland
crazy how
used-
when you meet streamers in real life, they're either super over the top, nice and welcoming, or they're just utterly fake sociopaths who are nothing like their streaming personality. There's no in between.
We talked about how like his friends have been stalked from PO boxes and stuff, and how we need to be careful about our real names and shit. It was a really disturbing conversation in general, but he was super nice. And then he ran off to go sign autographs and shit. I was like, Jesus Christ! Wow, look at this guy. I'm gonna be like him when I grow up. Plus, he eats really good food. He posts about it all the time. I can't look at Twitter without getting hungry because of him. Yeah, anyway.
I'd like to go over some of the BDO stuff real quick, just and then
Yeah, sure.
get any of your thoughts on it. Let me pull it up.
Finally, something I know something about. I don't know shit about Final Fantasy 14, dude.
We're gonna have to play to stay relevant in the podcast.
Yeah, I'm curious to like see how like if it lasts. That's what I'm really curious to see.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are lucky. Mr. Happy has a podcast of his own and is doing a podcast with Towley and stuff. So yep, y'all are safe for now.
Wait, Tally is doing that?
Yeah, he announced today he's doing a podcast with Towley.
Who are these people?
Tally's
Are they,
was
like,
like
super
literally
popular?
the founder of like Twitch, or really just the website. I mean, when it was back in before, was it Justin TV or whatever? He's been around for
Yeah,
ages.
he plays a lot of WoW.
When you go back and you're like, who's the first partner? It's like Tally is right up there with them.
Yeah, him and Saint are pretty good friends, I think. Saint's friends with everybody, but
Yeah, that was crazy watching Saint. And I was watching Someone G, and I was like, I know that
That's
voice
Saint.
from somewhere.
Yeah.
Who's that voice? And I was like,
yeah.
wait, that's Saint. Wait, I know that guy. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, so BDO.
Yeah. Anyway, so the news this week for BDO is they have Corsair came out, and the season started. Fugar's timepiece. We talked about that a little bit, about how OP that is. They updated.
Do you know how much shit I have to catch because of your shitty clickbait titles you've got on your fucking stream? Everybody, the people you don't answer about the fucking titles on your stream, come to me and ask for an explanation on what your fucking title is. Stop with the goddamn skull and the shitty clickbait thing and
Wait,
just
what was
put
his
out
title?
real information.
Corsair nerfed.
Nerfed, you fucking idiot. Fuck you.
I had so many people like, really? Is Corsair shit now? They nerfed her? Question mark. I'm
Well,
like,
she
oh,
is
listen,
garbage
she
in
really came
PvE,
out.
but
The
nerf
rest of
didn't
us
do
don't.
it.
The rest of us don't get more viewers with Twitch drops because you've got 10,000 people watching you and you're spitting out bullshit and they're going, well, Mr. Big Streamer didn't answer me. Mr. Small Streamer, can you answer
she
me?
did get 2 skills nerfed, and you did get more viewers because they asked you. You're
True.
welcome.
He's literally handing you viewers. You should thank him for clickbaiting.
and not answering.
You know how often I remind myself how kind you were at TwitchCon 2018 and how many old fashions you bought me? I bite my fucking tongue, so fuck you.
Wait, Potion bought you drinks?
He did. Anytime he didn't know what to say to me, he's like, hey, can I buy you a drink? I was like, yeah.
What
Potion
kind
was
of
very
person,
nice
bro?
in real life.
Yeah, he's polite. 10 out of 10. I
The
love that you took that personality test. I'm never going to let that go.
I should post the full results.
Don't do that. So Corsair, my take on Corsair is I really want to know if it really was named because of a partnership. But it feels, I agree with you on the things that you said on your stream about it being probably the biggest hodgepodge of mechanics we've seen from a bunch of other classes kind of put together.
Mhm.
It plays a lot like Hashishine. Looks a lot like Hashishine. The obvious like ripping away spinning slash is really hard to get away with without it being super obvious. The Succession, what really is kind of marketed to me is how Succession and Pre-Awakening have zero difference whatsoever as far as like playstyle skills, stuff like that. Where like we've had a conversation, at least Moreland and I did on a previous podcast where I'm like, well, I thought Warrior Succession was just Pre-Awakening. Like, no, dude, Successions play completely differently. That is 100% not the case on Corsair at all. It is The same skills, the same animations, except for sometimes you get a little bit of purple in it.
Isn't that the purpose of Succession, though, to maintain the pre-awakened style that you enjoy, but stronger because of higher damage modifiers and a little bit of flair? Like, isn't that the purpose of Succession?
No, I think Succession for the first batch of classes was like in the style of Pre-Awakening, but it was definitely different. Like Succession Warrior does not play like Pre-Awakened Warrior. A lot of those Succession classes do not actually play like the Pre-Awakened class. They have similar names, but the names have different animations. They have different, protections, and like it's not just a damage increase to the base kit. But with the new classes, since they don't have a Pre-Awaken to fall back on, they're designing the Pre-Awaken and the Awakening and the Succession all at the same time, and they're pumping the class out in 3 months. Yep. That leads to it's like, why make a fleshed out Pre-Awaken kit that no one's ever going to play, because it's not relevant to play something outside of Succession or Awakening. So why make 3 classes when you can only make 2?
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense, honestly. I don't really have a problem with this Pre-Awakening and Succession. If they're the same thing, I don't really have a big deal with that. I feel like this one, it has all the skills of our classes. Like you can literally just handpick every single class ability out of it, and it does feel really fun to play when it's all put together. I just wish they kind of put more polish on it. More polish is like I've said that a lot of my streams. Just more polish. If they put polish on it, it would have been really, really nice.
I can't tell. So that was another phone squeezing thing that you said, is I can't tell, and I don't know if there's been enough time that has passed for you to really make that assumption. Because when I was doing my big blowout last night, Brandon came through from Donation and absolutely fucking destroyed me in the smoothest amount of animation. He played it so fucking well, and it was fluid. He came in, I died, he left. It was just whoosh, and I was like, holy shit, that man's been working on this class. So I think I don't disagree with the lack of polish, but I think without the time and focus to tie these things together, and they do tie in together differently, to make it fluid and to practice at that, I don't know if that's like the right thing to say without some more time going through. And you're streaming 24/7, so you can't really watch other people either. There are some people who are playing it that make it look like butter, bro. 4 days into it, 2 days into it, it was rough.
I've probably done like 200 duels against Corsairs in the BA, and there's definitely a big difference between the ones that know how to like actually use their movement very well without clunkily just dashing around pointlessly, and the ones that can like use the vacuum that she goes down in the untargetable into the water and like manipulate the high grapple resistance on some of her abilities. Like I feel like she's gonna have a really high ceiling and gonna be a pretty pretty good class personally, but all new classes are.
So one of the things that I guess I would feel like I'm always really bad at communicating my ideas. The main thing for polishing is like new player acquisition. I feel like you play Ninja, it's sort of like you have this huge learning curve on the entire class, which makes it really hard for new players to enjoy it, or people who just want to play it for fun for the first couple of days. Where you have other classes that are like, I don't know, I don't want to pick on Guardian, but it's just like either
you always do. Just keep going.
There's easy classes that you can pick up, and then you don't have, because they're polished, you can put together combos in whatever way you want and figure out the best combos later on. Where on Corsair, you have to do the good combos day one, or otherwise you feel like you're playing like you don't know, you have fumble fingers or something, And so
but you also got to think she's missing 8 skills, right? Like literally half of her kit. She's missing 8 skills, 8 rebombs plus the 2 C skills.
Yep.
So like she's literally a shell of a class right now. Like it's gonna be completely. It's like with Sage. When Sage first came out, I was like, whatever. Maybe it's good, maybe whatever. But then they tweaked it, and then like fucking insane, dropping cubes on people. His awakening is still crazy strong. Like I think it's gonna end up being Really good.
The week 1 impressions for classes in that game are literally never correct. Every
fucking
single time there's a
pointless.
new class, people are they form
Yeah.
their first impressions, and like, yeah, I mean, when Sage, like when Sage first came out, there was massive amount of hot takes, and people were saying it as if it was absolute fact, right? Like, this class is XYZ.
It was an echo
And
chamber.
like you hear one streamer will say that, and then everyone else will say that in everyone else's chat, and then it's like, oh well, I heard X and Y from this person, and it absolutely just becomes this like self-reinforcing thing. And then a couple weeks later, it's like, oh hey, this class is top fragging in Siege. I guess we were wrong.
Well, for me, my person is always a PvE, because the PvP side of things is, I think her PvP will be fine regardless, just because you'll figure out little niche ways to do mobility, and with her grapples and stuff like that, you can chain around in circles and, outrun literally any class in the game except for maybe Nova Awakening. Like it's just going to be insane for PvP. I feel like this is something I was talking about the other day to my chat. It's like, I say like, hey, I don't like the class. It feels clunky to play, and or it feels weak, and then the Redditors will be like, she's so strong, and I'm like, I'm talking about the PvE, and they're like, no, the PvP is broken. I'm like, I'm not talking about that, and that's like, a lot of times I feel like there's two different audiences talking about two different things, and then kind of talking past each other a little bit, and so that's like, for me, her PvP is probably fine. I mean, looking at her kit way beforehand, I thought her PvP was gonna be fine with a forward guard block and grapple resistance and stuff like that. And
Dude, that forward guard break thing is so fucking broken.
it's insane.
It's so broken. It's absolutely insane. It lasts for like 10 seconds. On a Guardian, you might as well turn your
15.
fucking computer off. Is it 15? I might as well turn my fucking computer off. Like, forget it. Absolutely forget it.
Yep.
That is a weird mechanic to bring in. I'm with you on that, right? Like, you are really kind of digging into this PvE thing, and the PvP is kind of fine and all that kind of stuff. But I think the point is to maybe pull back on the absolutes when the class in Kerr's word is a shell of a class, which is an apt description. But it's a rushed hodgepodge with good animations, which is probably what we should expect from new classes in BDO for the foreseeable future. And like we said in the last podcast, they've tripled or quadrupled down on all of that. And that's, what they want to focus on making better, outside of the 2-hour rants that Marlon just uploaded of all the things that actually need to be fixed in the game. They're just going to keep pumping out new classes, man.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm interested to see what the Awakening is, just like everybody else is. But, I thought they did a good job with Nova's Awakening. I think that was pretty cool to have. You're very different, right? You got DK, and then you've got probably one of the most stationary tanky classes, with like a little bit of necromancy and minions and stuff like that. I think they did a pretty good job with Nova, now that it's kind of fleshed itself out and where, it succeeds and where its weaknesses are. But, people who are going back and forth between Succession and Awakening are playing two very different play styles. But you brought up making your own combos. I watched the finals of the Guardian Arena of Arsha thing on stream yesterday. And if you really believe that classes can make up their own combos, you need to watch how fucking terrible that last match of Guardian was. It was one of the most disgraceful potato jokes of a PvP match I've ever seen in BDO. And that's a high bar. They had no idea what a combo was. It was a gas to watch. It was pathetic.
So
it's absolutely pathetic.
The way I was thinking about it is like, the majority of people don't get 62 on the class. They don't get 61. They don't barely get 58 on a new class. And so that most people experience what it's like when you don't have any idea to play the class. And so that's when, if you don't have any idea how to play the class, making your own combos kind of feels good, right? Even if they're not the proper combo with the most DPS or anything like that, you can just kind of do an ability. It feels good to do any other ability, and then you're rewarded for like playing the game, and it feels okay to play. Where I feel there's two different perspectives, right? The veteran player is like, well, if there's any perfect combo in the in game, then it's fine because you'll eventually just figure out how to do that. But it's not really accessible for new players. So one viewpoint is like you have is like a hardcore viewpoint, like almost like a Path of Exile, like elite. Like if you get to in game and you're super master everything and it works out, then it's okay. Another one is like, well, it needs to be good for new players, and I don't really know what the right answer is for it. But anyway, Corsair's getting some changes for it, and I personally didn't really enjoy the day one experience on Corsair. And I think I've gotten a pretty good combo down now with it, but it took me like 3 or 4 days, or I guess I have like 2 days and a half on it. One of the cool things they did with seasons to kind of move on towards other topics, they did 3 grind spots that they changed into 3-man grind spots. So they changed Basties into a 3-man grind spot, which is incredible. They changed Wargons into a 3-man grind spot, which is garbage still. And Schultz Guard, which I would assume is okay, but I don't really know. The Basties one is the really cool one because they basically removed all the snakes and put little statues like they have over at Star's Inn, right? They put those little statues up. And so you attack the statue and it spawns 3 waves of mobs that normally would be in Basties. And so now it supports, I don't know, like 20, 50 parties of people can be in there killing different statues as a 3-man groups. And I like the design change a lot because Basties always felt like it was really weird to make rotations in it. And it feels like it solves that problem really well. I mean, a little unfortunate it's like 4 years too late or something.
So they ruined Wargons. That was like the go-to season grind. They ruined that. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. That's where you got all the
Wargons?
materials. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they'd have the spawns. You wouldn't need 3 people. And you could just destroy stuff and get the drops on materials were super good, apparently. So that was like
which
one of the
materials?
Time fields, and it was the refined dropped a lot there.
So the thing that made Wargons so good, so the Wargons were AP capped. And so you could go there on a Shy, and because Shy's boomerang hits have like 40 and 50 hits on them, you melt them really fast. And you could get a bunch of those refined drops and the other stuff and like Tuvala ore and shit, and you could vendor them to the vendor, and you can make a lot of money on a seasonal character. And I don't know if you could still do it with since they made it a 3-man spot, but yeah, you used to be able to cheese it with the Shy.
So it was a little
with Shy, it was crazy.
Even without a Shy, it was still pretty decent. So that's gone. But the worst part of all this is I didn't buy the battle pass, but I went through the free parts of it.
Yeah.
And having to find a group when you're a guildless player in this game is dog shit, right? It would be cool if they put one in there, right? If it was Bassies and you could muscle through soloing it if you had to. Obviously, you want to do it. Fortunately, I'm a streamer and people helped me out. But if it wasn't for that, having all 3 of those, like half of it's group content, and it was weird for how little of a group game BDO is. It just felt weird.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's okay, right? Like, I mean, we keep asking for them to add group content, and obviously we're not going to be able to partake on it because we've played it for so long. But you know what I mean? But it's good, right? It's better late than never. So
there's
like,
definitely a lot of
middle
the people that come after us will be able to enjoy it. Because I've had a couple people that pop up in chat over the last like 2 days and be like, "Yeah, man, I just joined a party and I was grinding with some other people at the new spots, and it was fun."
That feels like
I don't think it's always that bad, you know.
And the thing is, like, some people bring over like 2 or 3 of their buddies, right? And then they're like, you know, hey, let's go over to Wargons and check it out for a couple of hours. And I feel like at least there's an opportunity to do that at some lower end spots, because so far it's been kind of elitist spots where you have Paddock's Island, Abandoned Monastery, like Olin Valley, and now there's a few lower end spots for seasons. And maybe it's not, like I said, maybe it's not for us, but at least those guys have an opportunity to do something that's a little bit more accessible for a newer player.
I mean, there was 4 parts of it that I needed, at least 3 people to do it with, and it just, I don't know. Asking group content to me is not that. I feel like that's like a stop asking us answer. Like, if this is what you want, this is what we're going to give you.
Sure.
So I'm with you, Kerr, and I can hear myself be a little jaded about it as I say it, but also it just feels lazy. It's such a lazy answer to group content. Let's make these things that could be easily. They just increase the HP on these things. That's all it was. The statues and basilisks, whatever. The copy pasta from Wargons, basically.
Another thing they did this week, which is actually really huge, was that you can actually see your PvP damage modifiers on your skills now. So you can see it's 40% reduced in PvP damage, or 35%, or 20%. So although that is not going to be, change PvP anyway, at least now you know that, oh, let's not use this ability because it does way, 80% less damage in PvP, for example. So you can at least avoid the extreme examples of that, and you don't have to calculate it out. You don't have to go testing. You can just put into a calculator and know exactly what it's supposed to be doing.
No, it's worthless because there's so many other modifiers that we're not privy to that having that information makes no difference whatsoever.
I do think it's a step in the right direction, though. Wouldn't you say? Don't you think it's a step in the right direction?
Because
I think if they cleaned up the multiplier tooltips, the whole entire tooltip coming together is really hard to understand. Even with the PvP damage things, I think it is a step in the right direction, but they're not fixing the fundamental issue, which is that the overall tooltip is gibberish to 99% of the players. Like, it's very unclear how much damage these abilities will do in various cases. You basically have to have Big and Shiny explain it to you. If they actually gave you like a damage value that was intuitive, that made sense, and then told you on top of that how much the damage is reduced in PvP, maybe. But I think if anything, it's going to lead to like a noob trap where people will see abilities that have negative 80% and they'll assume that it's a bad skill, when actually the reason it's minus 80 is because it's a very good skill, and it might actually be one of their main damage dealers. So it might actually lead to even more confusion. But yeah, I don't know. It could be good if they fix the rest of the tooltip.
I guess it's a step in the right direction, right? I'd rather, even if it's information that won't make a difference, just having the information.
Yeah, it's one less piece you have to guess about,
No, but it doesn't matter when we don't know if they're tweaking or updating or how to reference the chart of how much damage you do to another class versus what they do to you. With that being a mystery and other things being a mystery, it doesn't matter if they give us 9 out of 10 pieces of information if that 10th piece is a fucking mystery constantly. It literally doesn't matter. It's not a step. I'm going to buck you guys. It's not a step in the right direction. It's meaningless, and it's fluff, and it's a noob trap at the very best.
Well, if there's 10 pieces of information we need, and we currently have 5 of them, and they just reveal number 6, there's still too many variables to know, but it is a step in the right direction.
Yeah. They're never going to give us all 10. You're deluding yourself if you think they're never going to give us damage numbers.
If there's enough Reddit votes, they'll give us the rest of them.
I applaud your positivity, but I'm,
All right, here's fast round. Water and digging. Now when you get a sharper hard, you'll continue getting water or digging in the desert. So it's a thing. No more cooldowns when swapping tag characters, so you don't have to wait 300 seconds or go to the character swap anymore. You can just swap instantly now, which is a huge quality of life.
That's the only thing I've ever exploited.
Not an exploit now. The supported feature. They have a ghillie-free RBF was implemented, and I checked earlier, and people are actually using the ghillie-free RBF. And
it's actually not dead. There's more people in the ghillie RBF than the real one.
Yeah, I actually thought it was gonna be dead. I made a prediction it was gonna be dead, and I was definitely wrong.
That's so funny. People are still playing the ghillie RBF.
Yeah, but
wow, dude, the absolute state of PvP in that game.
People,
when given a choice, they chose the ghillie one.
So it's changed back. So I've looked at it here, and it's the people are playing in the ungillied one, camouflage effect unavailable. So that's what it is. 39 people in it right now, and then there's the regular one that has 3 in it. So there's the ghillie one has 3, the non-ghillie has 39. So it does seem like people have realized how it worked out.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So I think maybe it was just people didn't discover it yet then, and now they're catching on.
3 sorts fighting.
Like last night there was like 18 people in the ghillied RBF, and then like 40 people in the one where you can't use your ghillie. So there's still a couple people that are like, no, my ghillie, but I think it's good. Good addition.
They get tired of fighting each other and go to the other one. So that's actually a nice change. I'm really basically everything they said in the Hideout Ball that was easy changes they have done. I almost feel like they've made a list of things that they're going to put in the game next week and then just told us about them. Like, Yeah,
like they did last time and the time before that.
Yeah,
they read the next month's patch notes to you, and then they told you a bunch of shit they're never gonna do.
Yep.
That's a Heidel ball.
And so the level 100 horses are in the game now, so you can level up your horse level 100, and then not have it aggro mobs anymore, which is a really, really strange way of fixing that problem. And you can now auto move things to storage. So you can basically say, I want these items to always move to storage, and you can like exclude others. So you can like go and grind for an hour, run back to storage, click the button, it'll just put everything to storage, and go back and grind some more.
Wow, that's pretty cool, actually. Not gonna lie.
Yep.
They have auto inventory management before they have caps and mercs and siege.
Well, I mean, it's on the global lab whenever they decide to actually
Siege
put it
is
in the
dead
game.
anyway.
Yeah,
Nobody gives a fuck about Wizard 101.
And that's basically the BDO hot round. There's Global Lab has some changes coming to Corsair to smooth out the gameplay a little bit, and that's where they nerfed the absolute damage by 30% because the absolutes did more damage than Succession.
Are you in the golden saucer, Moreland?
Dude, useless. I just got robbed of a triple triad match. Absolutely robbed.
Sorry, Potion. What were you saying? The absolutes what?
The absolutes are getting nerfed on Global Lab because I think I'm getting attacked, but I'm not sure. The absolutes are getting nerfed by about 20-30%. The reason they're doing this is because they do more damage than the Succession skills. In my opinion, they could have either nerfed absolutes or buffed Succession to fix the issue, right? And I feel like it's just kind of in the wrong direction, but that was what the nerf was about. So overall,
Corsair's nerfed. Thank you for putting that out there. Really appreciate that. Asshole.
I mean, it was true.
It's not true. You're an asshole.
It is true. They nerfed absolute skills, and overall is going to lower the damage on the class abilities by 5 to 8 or 5 to probably 10%, something like that.
I hate you in so many different ways. It's hard to like verbalize.
I see that more as like a preemptive thing with like the Awakening coming out. I feel that I see that as kind of like them preempting, because like changing the damage on the absolutes is kind of odd.
Everybody
think that is because of the Awakening that's coming.
Everybody goes to your stream for drops anyway. You don't need to have those titles. You don't.
Listen, people told me it was I was being very toxic that day, and I was really mad about the Global Lab patch. And so I changed it today where they have fixed Corsair movement, all right? So you'll get plenty of questions about that instead, and have a positive.
You know what?
Vibes.
I'm fucking mad at that a little bit. I'm gonna bump that a little bit because Guardian is this luscious, thick, gorgeous, large woman, and those thighs take a couple steps to get going. Do not take that movement away from Guardian.
Are you
Guardian's probably
actually
the only.
serious?
Actually, Guardian's probably. I can agree with Tim that Guardian is probably the only the new class with the like inertia thing that I actually doesn't feel like it's out of place.
It's kind of RP. I actually like it. I'm being serious.
I don't like that. No, I don't know. I can see with the abilities and like the theme of the abilities being a little slower and stuff. I think that's fine. But I don't really like that when I go to Autopath, it takes me 5 years to get started.
Then don't play Guardian, bitch.
Well, I'm not.
Yeah, Tim, you are not gonna last in Final Fantasy, bro. I will literally put money. I put money on it that Tim is banned within 2 weeks.
No, okay. How much? I'll take it.
Let's do a meme $20 bet that Tim gets banned within the first 2 weeks.
I will take your money, little man.
I'm gonna take that money.
There's literally no way that you don't get banned in the first.
Bro, this is gonna be a money exchange because Tim's gonna give me $20 when Ashes of Creation Alpha 1 comes out.
No, I'm not.
Apparently, it's happening this July. I don't know.
I give you money all the time. I'm not going to give you more because that game never.
Wait, who won that? Who even won that bet between you two?
Well, I'm currently winning. It's not a bet. It's just I'm going to pay him when it comes out, which it won't. So until it comes out, I win. When it does, and it's not a complete fucking train wreck, I will give him $20.
How are you defining train wreck?
I think it's going to be pretty obvious. It should be self-evident. If it's not self-evident, I will pay him $20. If everybody goes, this game's a total fucking joke, and it dies right then and there, I'm not giving him $20. If it makes it past that phase,
train wreck.
I think people are so starved that it's going to end up doing good numbers, even if it is bad.
Yeah, I think it might be mediocre, but there's no way it's going to be a train wreck. It's got way too much money.
I think AOC is going to release her feet pics the same time Ashes of Creation comes out, and everybody's going to be fucking confused, and it's going to kill the game.
Googling AOC is going to get very difficult.
You'll just get something better. No, I'm going to be fine in Final Fantasy. It's just, you guys are my boys. I can talk to you differently than I would talk to strangers or whatever the case is.
That's fair.
But, I don't. It's way different.
Dude,
if you want to give
Tim,
me $20, if you want to give me $20, you can.
Listen, dude, like, I know they were camping you at Polly's, but you could have just called us for help.
They weren't
like,
fucking
you don't have
camping.
to play a
What are
different
you gonna
game,
do?
dude.
You're a tamer. Yo, I'm going to call a little girl to help me out, bro. I have thighs the size of fucking Kansas, dude. I'm out there. I was holding I won a 1v5, no cap. I was doing just fine, dude. Just fine. I was putting it down with my 245 AP, making up my own combos. No, I was doing the right combo, murdering kids, and they were getting mad at my toxic name. Life was fucking good.
Oh, shit, bro.
And I'll drink to that.
I just want everyone to know I just beat Useless in Triple Triad, even though he has way better cards than me. Absolutely humiliated, clipping it and posting it on Reddit.
Just as his name entails.
Yeah,
Well,
apt name.
That's basically the wrap on the BDO news of the week.
You want a New World update?
Yeah, that'd be great.
So the guild's going well. 60 out of 100 people. We probably need to follow up with a couple of specific people to fill out those last 60 spots. We have 20 days until the open alpha. I expect you to stream for at least 24 hours, Potion.
Okay.
18 hours for you, Moreland. Kerr, just log on.
Hey, Captain.
Probably do 12 hours.
Okay.
What time does it go?
I don't think we have that information yet. Everything's
They're going to
pretty
release
tight.
it at like 3 p.m., so I'm not going to stay up all night for the beta.
Okay, that's fair. But for live.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Do you think? I think there's like a 50-50 chance the beta might actually be better than the live game.
I agree with you, but
Are they gonna
Wait,
wipe
why do you-
names like after the name rush? Are
Why
they
do you say
wiping
that?
Names?
What do you think?
wiping names?
Yeah, because some betas like don't wipe character names. You get to keep your character name.
I don't know. They're
Some
very
they don't.
tight-lipped about this whole thing, which makes me nervous.
Yeah,
in
everything's
general.
under NDA. Be careful what you say. Naming policy
Yeah.
might get you sued.
Well, I'm a little less afraid of NDAs than other people in this Discord call, but
Maybe it's an Amazon thing, dude. Because yeah,
It
even
could
Lost
be.
Ark doing that NDA shit.
It's really weird. Yeah.
well,
There's some boomer marketing guy who thinks that this is what you're supposed to do because he read about it in a book from 1972.
I don't think it's been a bad call for them, but I've had a couple of conversations with people that have kept me informed on how some of the patches have played out in the current state of the game. And I think everything's moving in the right direction. I think the only thing I'm really worried about is the beta patch. If they put like a big patch, which I'm hoping these 2 alpha patches they did were the patches, but I can't use definitives here. I'm concerned that maybe the current state of the live alpha does not have the population currently playing to aptly test the patches, the massive patches.
It's like
that have come
Shadow
out.
Arena. They
Yeah.
got 23 players. That's not enough to
I
test
don't-
out metas.
I don't think it's that bad. I know there's people still actively playing it, but and I'm being serious. I literally don't know if it's enough to test those large scale things. I literally don't know if the wars are being manned appropriately and all that kind of stuff. So when the closed beta comes out, which all you have to do for everybody listening is pre-order to get into it either through the Amazon or on Steam. I don't know if these patches are going to, hold that water of that population versus, the limited that have been invited or whatever the case is. So We'll see. That's the thing I'm nervous about. But it's a new MMO. It's a brand new MMO. The last time we really actually played this was a year ago. It's a very different game than what it was. And who cares if it sucks? We've got this incredible crew of people. We're all friends, and we're going to make a couple new friends, and we're going to have a fucking great time, even if the game's dog shit. And we're 100% going to be top 3, definitely, almost certainly, number 1 guild on whatever server we fucking pick. How is that not going to be fun? At least for closed beta and at least a month into launch. We're going to get it done.
One thing that I'm really curious about is, like, I'm hesitant to put in a lot of time into closed beta if the regular game it comes out, because I don't know, like, I want to get to max level for sure, but I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy it, right? And then with the stats getting reset, I don't want to, like, grind out all the life skills and then just grind them out again. I don't know how much fun that would be to do.
I wouldn't bother with crafting at all during the beta, but I think leveling up and killing people is going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I wouldn't worry too much about crafting. Nomi Malone is going to organize crafting, or he is organized crafting. So the people who do want to dive into crafting to have a great idea of how it's going to affect live and how we can best utilize that. Obviously, that'll be a volunteer basis, but relegating that to him and delegating that to him, I think is a good move, and we'll be able to get the information that we need to be successful.
For their YouTube channel right now, it's like 50-50. Half the videos are like, they're amazing. They're like, wow, I love the world of Eternum. Like, this is amazing. And then the other half are like, join your settlement, get a house. Oh my gosh, are you ready to jump into Eternum? It's Fashion Week. And it's just like, it's like, they're 50-50. Every time I watch a video from the New World channel, like, they either hype me up, I'm ready to jump in like today, or I'm less like, what am I watching? So,
well, I mean, you have to ignore anytime you watch a YouTube video. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Well,
I'm going to go over this great new game, New World.
No, I'm talking about like the official channel. Have you seen? I'm talking about the official channel.
Lazy Peon, is that you?
I'm talking about
Poggers.
The official New World channel's been putting out these settlement updates, and they are cringeworthy. I had to turn it off. My stream thanked me for turning it off. That's how bad it was.
Your stream thanks you for turning your stream off?
No, for turning off the video from the New World trailer.
Well, it's pretty obvious they don't know how to hype their game.
Yeah.
I mean, every public statement that New World has ever made about their game has been an absolute train wreck. So I wouldn't expect their YouTube to be a bastion of high tier content either.
That makes sense, Drew.
Yeah, who cares, honestly? A game company doesn't know how to be a content creator. I don't know how to make
I just want to take part in the initial PvP rush, and then we'll see how it progresses past that. Because I don't want to put too much time in a beta. Definitely depending on like when the full is gonna like be released. But there are a lot of games where the beta has more traction than the release does. So it's
I think you guys are thinking about this wrong. Like the idea of putting too much into a beta because it gets reset, like who cares? The progress in New World is not why you're playing the game. You're playing the game so you can throw a hatchet at somebody, knock them down, dab on their body, and then talk to them about it in local voice chat while you are chopping them up. Like
with this microphone,
it's not a progression game. It's not like a game where you're gonna feel really accomplished when you hit level 60 or whatever. It's a game about blasting people 5v1 in open world and talking shit in local chat the entire time you're doing it.
Positively.
Okay. Think of it more as of like playing like an extended match of like Call of Duty. Don't think of it as playing an MMO.
Yeah, I think that actually makes like a lot of sense, honestly, when you say it like that. Because if you do that, then the amount of time you put in is proportional to the amount of enjoyment you get out of it.
But
that makes
kind of inversely to that is the reason I'm putting all this work into Aftershock and all that kind of stuff and making spreadsheets and shit is to make sure that we have the foundation to be able to have the people who are genuinely excited about this game to be the support and to show up all the time so we can treat the game like an extended Call of Duty game, basically. So you're finding those people who are genuinely excited about the game, which every single game, no matter how bad it is, has those people, and being able to give them a home and God gamers to make them look better than what they are, right? That's a symbiotic relationship that a guild can create that I'm trying to foster, because I don't necessarily have that excitement for this game, but I have the excitement for the douchebaggery that we put on this game a year ago in the alpha, in the preview or whatever it was.
Yeah, the social
I realized
connections
that
and stuff
it was
like
built
definitely.
up. It was built up off of people who were truly excited from the game. So I think that's a super symbiotic relationship and why we found so much success, quite frankly.
Damn, Tim using big words. Dude, you are passionate about this game.
I've got, now that I'm kind of away from BDO and have been in a major way, like more of who I actually am can come out instead of just going, this game sucks, I hate people, you know, which is basically what I've been on Twitch for 3 years for.
Yeah, New Worlds. I mean, I highlighted like a 20-minute or so segment of World PvP in that game, and there wasn't really a point for. I don't remember like what we were fighting over. I think we just encountered some people outside of town and a fight broke out because they were in a different faction. But like trying to run in a holding pattern while I was getting chased by 8 people, like trying to stay alive in time for the boys to get there. And then once they do get there, like grouping up and wiping the enemy and like, you know, shouting in local chat the whole time is a pretty good PvP experience, man. I think if they actually give you a reason to fight, if they add like open world objectives that are winnable or losable, rather than just like, who's going to complete the most quests over the next 12 hours in this area? Like if they add more tangible things to battle over in that game, it's going to feel really satisfying to win. Because the combat, you know, it had its like the stun locking and stuff needed to get fixed, but the combat overall in that game is pretty solid, and the netcode is the best I've ever seen in an MMO. So
I'm actually
like
really
the
excited for
potential's
that.
there. Yeah. But like the combat and the PvP in and of itself is rewarding if there's actually a reason to do it. So like the progress, okay, whatever. Like the MMO side of the game, I don't know, but the competitive aspects are really enjoyable.
The amount of people that we were able to go into PvP or to like come out and stuff like that just from what we typed in world chat as a guild, mostly me. Moreland got in on sometimes, even if there isn't that thing to fight over, I'm 100% sure I can get into these people's skin and get them to show up anyway.
And like
I'm uniquely qualified for that.
That is very true.
It's not toxicity, but it's, you know, being a villain sometimes. There's a difference between being a villain and being toxic, right? You can be a villain in a video game and still not be a piece of shit. You can get under people's skin and make them want to knock you off your territory, because I'm calling Skara a bitch because he's complaining about our taxation on the starter zone. That's being a villain. It's not really being toxic.
It's a little bit being toxic.
Yeah,
I think you need to.
Maybe I don't have to call him a bitch, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. You can start shit without like actually getting under people's IRL skin.
Well, okay, so maybe I didn't need to call him a bitch, but the world post messages that I put out there were funny. And raising the taxes gave people a reason. That made me the villain, right?
Talking trash is great. Like talking trash is amazing. But like, yeah, it's a little. I think we'll see where the line is. Oh my god, I'm about to. Sorry, I'm doing really good in cards right now.
Well,
I just had a crazy play.
Well, I mean, and that's why it's like Yumi and Zabby are going to be the top leadership, and then a bunch of officers, because I don't want to make all these, you know, it's a bunch of friends playing an MMO together. It doesn't need to be some hierarchy or anything like that. I need different people telling me, you know, how are we playing this?
We'll definitely be there to reel you in. Yeah.
No,
I'm not going to let you DMCA Skara when he uses one of your clips.
Well, I didn't. That was like one of the highlights of my streaming career, man. That was awesome. I love that shit.
Oh my god.
He almost said my name. If he said my name out loud, it would have been like a sub or follow alert or something.
Next time.
This time, Skara.
Do you guys want to play on Asmongold's server?
No, absolutely not. We'll lose. It's going to be a bunch of sweat fucking lords.
Wait, what?
They're all going to try to
his viewers are not good at PvP. He gets his ass beat in WoW all the time.
Right, we'll get PvE griefed, man. It's going to be awful. We're not playing on that server.
Yeah, I'm just joking, bro.
Okay, well, I'm a little worked up.
I can tell.
Damn, Tim, you getting flashbacks to that Polyforce PvP, bro?
You want to shut the fuck up before I drive out there and show you what PvP fucking looks like?
How long of a drive is that?
It's probably 15 hours.
Yeah, it's 15 hours.
Would you do it all in one
here to
go, or
Florida.
would you do 50-50?
I'm pretty angry. I'd probably just do it all in one go. Meet him at his P.O. box every Sunday that he goes to.
Oh, Docs and Kerr live on stream.
Hey, if you come to me, then you could meet Potion along the way because Potion's pretty close to me.
I've already met him. I've dominated that little man. You're next.
Wait, I remember killing you a bunch of PvP. Was that a dream?
I also remember Potion killing Tim a lot in PvP, like a lot. This is like 3 days ago, I think.
Is
You guys
how
remember
long
that?
Is that how long a week is to you?
I think it was like 3 days ago.
Are we shorter when you're shorter?
I don't know. I've been in a like just absolute weird
Isn't it time loop right now?
video.
Why is my
the last
Roomba
week is
still
all
going?
blended together.
No, he left.
You, Potion. You play the biggest bitch class and you want to talk shit, dude.
Hey, it doesn't happen very often. All right, I take my small wins.
I'm
when I
letting
can
you have it because you bought me drinks 3 years ago. I'm letting you have it.
Appreciate it.
You have no idea. Look, I'm showing my hair off.
So what's max level in New World? Is it 50, 60? Do we know?
It's 60, I think, but it kind of soft caps after 50. It's something like that. I don't remember exactly, but they made it a lot slower to level, and then they like took that back. So I don't think it'll be terribly difficult to level up.
I'm gonna do a giveaway or a contest rather for the New World Guild. Anybody, any number of people that beat Zabby to max level, I'll give them $20.
Wait, who's Zabby?
You'll find out.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe that'll be worth it. Maybe I'll give myself $20.
He was server for 60.
You'll have to go pretty
Alpha.
hard. I think Potion could do it. I think Potion's got a shot.
He thinks he has more time than Potion, bro. There's no way.
Yeah, no way.
Take him.
I don't think it's about time, right? So
I'll see you in
Zabby was the
Zabby's
kind of
party.
guy. Zabby was farming like 6,000 trash per hour in underwater with 245 AP.
Yeah, but
Potion Shop was grinding 3,500 trash with 300 Kudum.
You're not solo
it's not
leveling.
necessarily about time. It's about
absolutely
how,
about time.
It's about how much better of a gamer Zabby is than Potion.
Well, I'll just
I
put in
have to
20
I have to
hours
put
when he
the
puts
jab
in
back
10.
because he jabbed at me.
It's about how much. Yeah, it's literally about how much time you spend in that top right section, just AOEing shit with a fire staff with 15 other people in your group. That's gonna be the race right there.
Nobody's want to group with this fucking guy, dude. You have to wear sunglasses to even look at him.
I am pretty bright right now.
Yeah.
Tim, do you think I can get sunburned?
I actually turned down the.
Stop asking me racist shit, man. You're
Why you
trying to
gotta make it
set me
racist,
up,
bro. Why you
You're
gotta make
making it
racist?
racist. Oh my god.
No.
Try not get sunburned.
The
Is that what
answer
you're saying, Tim?
the answer is yes. You can get sunburned.
I want to hear Tim
Technically-
say it.
Technically, yes.
Why you sound so uncomfortable right now, Tim?
Some reforms. I told you we should have brought a woman instead.
To the podcast.
Yeah.
I asked Potion if he would let us invite Ace Alpha, and he didn't want it.
Why?
It's not why you're supposed to be, bro.
Dude, she's the best. Anybody who puts a diss track out against Vert for dismissing them is a fucking queen.
Yeah, I don't understand the drama at all. I'm way too.
I
out of
don't
the loop
either,
on
but
all
it's
that.
great. I just like it.
I don't
like
understand
her.
the drama either, but that's kind of
She
funny.
says poggers way more than I ever could, though. I don't know if I could go through 2 hours of poggers.
I haven't watched her a whole lot, honestly.
I've never watched her, but I'm a boomer.
I see her more as like a Dr. Disrespect character, right? Where she's embodying a persona.
Kind of like Tim.
Oh man, didn't we have a podcast? Wasn't this episode 5 when Dr. Disrespect actually was, this is like last week was 1 year of him being banned.
Oh,
Remember we had that podcast where I was like, having him on the platform gave people like me more context for, being, out there and angry and, kind of in that arena.
Do you see yourself as more of a Dr. Disrespect though, or more of like a Tyler 1?
No, so like neither one of those.
More of like a pre-ban Tyler 1, right? Guys?
Go fuck yourself. I'm not comparing myself to those people. I'm saying that it creates more context for broader personalities.
More of a lighter Lakari, I think.
I could see that.
Should have gone with a woman.
What is Lakari playing nowadays? Do you think he's going to play New World? We could go to his server.
He plays waifu games, dude, like the gacha, Genshin Impact, and shit like that.
He got like a news article written about him for spending $4,000 on Genshin Impact, and it's like destroyed his life. He used to play like Dark Souls and be a gamer.
Right, why would that destroy his life? I want a news article written about me about how much money I spent in a bad game.
See, right. So if you want that,
that's good publicity.
Is it?
I think so.
Man, he's actually a Genshin Impact weeb streamer. Huh?
All publicity is good publicity.
Bro, if you guys think shies are bad in BDO, what's the name of what's it, a Lala? Is that the
these are not nearly as bad as Shy. What are you talking about?
But the small clothes when you go to
yeah, that's a problem. That is a problem.
Bad.
It's quite
Final Fantasy got half-dressed little girls.
Yikes. It's quite yikes. It's not a little yikes. It is very, very yikes.
BDO took a hard pass. They did like swimsuits for underwear for Shy. They did bra and panties.
Definitely should have put them in a onesie.
Mm-hmm. That was not localized correctly.
Nope.
Bro. The Korean version doesn't have that. The Korean version doesn't have that for Shy. It's only the NA version and EU version.
Wait, for real?
The Korean version doesn't have it. Yeah, they don't have that. It's only the NA version.
It's censored for us. The NAU /
I don't believe you. They have lingerie for Shy in Korea.
It's just regular stuff. Like they don't have
regular
KR Shy costumes.
I mean, it's obviously tailored to Shy because it's different, but she doesn't have like long pants and stuff.
KR Shy underwear. Why am I typing this? I'm going to be put on a fucking...
Yeah, you're going to jail, bro.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's right.
Yeah. Well, I was watching...
There's even there's like a heart. Oh, Jesus. Wait, that's a
yeah, they only censored it for us.
See, this is why I don't watch anime, you guys. Like, this is the reason that I don't watch anime.
There's a
What
bulge.
is this? Why is this shit allowed in Eastern cultures?
That's a bulge right there, dude.
The I didn't need to know that.
Actually weird. Actually so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really.
But yeah, like the reason I actually knew this is because I was watching during Terminator War Park last year. There was one of the Korean girl streamers, and she was playing a Shy, and she was like looking at the Shy's pants. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And her entire chat was like, "Pervert, pervert, pervert, pervert," and like she's like, I was like, "Ah!" So I went back to I Am Blue because he's at least decent.
Can you repeat all that, Potion?
Sound effects, bro. What the fuck?
I'm pretty sure it's a maturity thing. I don't think it has anything to do with being creepy. I just don't think NA and EU are mature enough to deal with it. Also, we have a lot of pedophiles.
Uh-huh.
They also have like the age of consent at like 13.
Okay,
shit, dude. So it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
we're just too immature to handle 6-year-olds in lingerie. Okay.
Can't argue that.
Grow up, Marlon. Grow up, dude.
No, well, one of the things is the cultural difference. Like the cultural age for marriage in Western culture is older.
Here we go.
Well,
and in EU, in Eastern cultures is younger. Like example is a good example of this.
I mean, he kind of has a point. I think the age of consent in Japan is 13.
Yeah,
it's literally crazy low.
Yeah,
I
it's
think they're
actually
like
insane.
trying to change that though, but yeah.
They ought to change that. I would encourage them to change that.
The
move to
another good example of
hair
this is a
birds.
cross reference to another subject would be alcohol, and alcohol in generally in Europe is way younger age than NA.
Exactly the same thing, Potion. You're right.
Well, I'm just making like this differences in culture. All right. And
Yeah,
so
some cultures are okay with children in lingerie, and some cultures aren't. It's just it's all relative.
well, I'm not making an argument for the morality of it. I'm just saying the cultural difference.
You should though. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, there's absolutely an objective moral standard here, and people need to knock that shit off.
I agree.
I don't know
anyway.
if they're into it in Japan. I'm fine with it. I'm not gonna shame them. I'm kidding.
This is why you're
I
getting
don't-
banned in 2 weeks in Final Fantasy.
No, I don't know. It's fine. We can move on.
All right. Sword of Legends comes out. It's coming out. Unless you guys have more news about New World, but Sword of Legends comes out next week.
It's just an update. It's gonna be a total flop, dude. It's wasted time.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's gonna flop. Well, okay, because it's coming out right now. I think it's gonna get overshadowed by a lot of other things, but I think it's gonna have a following.
I think it'll be a cult following. I think it'll be a small but cult following. Yeah.
It'll have more people than Crowfall for sure.
Because if you look at
It'll
that,
be
if you look at that, you can easily like see that they went for a strong traditional Asian vibe, and there's a lot of people who like that, who don't want this weeb. They want like serious undertones of like a traditional Asian culture where you can, I don't know, RP as a ninja or something. There, I don't know. And I feel like that game's going to have like that really strong RP vibe of like traditional Asian culture, and that won't be for what a lot of people like. But there's definitely going to be some people who are going to be a cult following for it. And it's like, I'm playing this for the next 5 years.
Yeah,
You
I mean
know?
every game has players except for Shadow Arena. So, I mean, I just don't think it's gonna be like a mainstream success.
No,
but,
it's not
you
going to be a
know,
mainstream success, but I don't think it's going to flop. I don't think the devs are setting out to be like this massive. Oh my god, I'm just destroying Useless again. Sorry, I'm getting very excited over this card game. But I think that Sword of Legend has a lot of potential for people who are burnt out on games like BDO, but they want that action combat and they want that art style. The world of that game felt nice to me. The movement and the setting seemed really cool. They make the same mistake that all these Korean games make, which is that the story is just so not engaging and they force you into it, and it's like just let me get to the good part, right? Like these Korean or these Eastern MMOs, like the good part is not the story. The good part is the open world exploration and the combat and the progression, and like just let me do that.
Yeah, 100% agree.
I think I'd rather play like a free to play version of, or not version, but like play Genshin Impact free to play than play like Sword Art or whatever.
I actually was
I don't
thinking
know
about
if
maybe
that's a
trying out
hot
Genshin
take, but-
Impact.
Yikes, bro.
It's a fluid game. It's fun. The combat's actually pretty fun, but like I know that I'm gonna be like, I only have a 3-star and I should have a 5-star, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I hate games like that.
I wish that someone would just make Genshin Impact, but without the 11-year-old girls. Like, can someone just make a good gacha game that's not super creepy? I would pay so much money to play a game
But
like that.
the creeps are what spend money though.
I'm really curious if
It's not true. Like if you look at Raid Shadow Legends, that's like one of the top 3 grossing mobile games in the world, and they don't have creepy graphics. Like, and the game's not even good.
They just hired every fucking streamer in the world, overpaid them tenfold, and it's successful.
I mean, but
They
you
really
also
made
have,
it
you
success.
also have to admit that Genshin Impact's marketing team is probably the best marketing team out of any game ever.
Is it?
Do you?
I mean,
get
in terms
sunburned?
of getting their shit out there, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say, like, it's probably the best marketing team out of anything. Because even if you've never played it or you don't ever plan on playing it, you know what it is.
That's true, actually.
I would honestly say it probably has the best marketing team out of any game ever, just because they know, like, they're just out there. They're literally a household name.
When's the last time you got sunburned?
Who are you talking to?
Everybody.
I think yesterday. I went outside and turned around and did a 360 and got sunburned. I'm pretty sure.
The top of my head gets sunburned quite often.
I could see that. How about you, Kerr?
Or he doesn't get sunburned.
I went on a boat.
Am I
about
getting
6
baited, dude?
Yeah.
You keep bringing up sunburns.
Tim, what do you got against my skin, dude? Like,
So I thought I'd just ask the group when's the last time we all got sunburned. You've brought it up twice.
you sound pretty uncomfortable, man. You don't have to force yourself in this combo, bro.
I have never been more comfortable in my life. I'm drinking a 20-year-old scotch.
Is that old or young?
Oh boy.
What's next on the
Yeah,
docket?
wait, is 20 years a long time for Scotch?
I don't know. That's why I was actually genuinely curious. I don't really know.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is.
Tim, dude. None of us are alcoholics. Fuck. Kidding.
That's what I should do. I should go to the store and grab some alcohol. That'll help me get through this.
I
Yeah,
gotta
you
give
should.
you a hard
Loosen
time,
up,
dude.
you fucking tight ass bitch.
I could not. You gotta stop calling people bitch, dude. We're FF14 streamers now.
What do I
I
call
could
him
not
instead?
figure out when the next Lost Ark beta is. Does anyone know? I signed up for it, and someone said it was like the 9th, but I can't find anything confirming that.
They're all NDA, aren't they? Until like later this year.
Well, the date that the test starts shouldn't be NDA, right?
They had
Good
an
point.
alpha test they already did, and that was NDA. All the alphas
Yeah.
are NDA. The beta is not NDA, I don't think.
Okay, apparently there's no date yet. I feel like the next test shouldn't be NDA because I think it is more of an open beta.
Yeah, they have one. They definitely have one beta that's happening before, and then the official release will be you get 3 days head start if you buy their founders package. I think it's free to play otherwise, though, right? I think it's free to play otherwise. I kind of
What do
imagine
I-
they're going to do. They don't want to compete with New World, so they're probably going to like stagger the times.
I think you give marketing teams way too much credit. In my professional experience, marketing for most industries is probably the weakest link in general. And so thinking that all this content comes out because other content comes out, I think these guys care about Christmas in the holiday season and when people spend money way more than when other content comes out and trying to compete with it. I think they all try to find their little niche. I think it's the most amount of market research they really do and not come out on top of other things.
That should
Or
be
they're
the,
not paying attention and they're looking
Especially-
at when their players spend money. Also, what am I supposed to call Potion Shop when he's being a bitch besides a bitch?
Especially since they're beta testing a game that's been out for almost half a decade. Like I don't know, dude.
That's a good point.
I think that is the weirdest thing for me is that they're doing beta tests and fucking NDAs for a game that's been out for over 4 years.
it is strange.
It's so weird. I don't
Is
even.
Very
that
weird.
is that what New World did? Is that like their mark on the marketplace? Is they kind of normalized NDAs for
Well, I mean,
betas and stuff? Was there any other game that really did that?
Amazon's doing the publishing, so they're probably just taking the same policy they did
Oh,
on
that's
New World.
right.
Yeah, they're publishing New World and they're publishing.
Amazon. That's why earlier.
I don't
forgot
think
about
from
that.
Amazon's perspective, I'm pretty sure the people who are running Amazon games are literally like 90 years old. I don't think they really understand this stuff. From their point of view, they probably see the demographic for New World and Lost Ark as having no crossover. Like they probably don't even see those things as competitors.
Well, they probably aren't in most cases, but we're all coming from a Korean MMO background, and that's where we all built our streams for the most part, right?
Mhm.
Question mark. So, like, that is a conversation we're having, but I'm pretty sure it's a niche conversation.
That makes sense. I kind of do feel like because they're the same publishing team that they probably wouldn't try to cross over. So I kind of think because you have, I don't know, it had to be in between the end of July and August for the beta, I guess.
Yeah. That's a good point. A lot of companies are extremely conservative about cannibalization, right? Nobody wants to trade dollars with themselves.
Mm-hmm. And even if it's like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, like you said, I'm not sure how closely they see it as the same genre, or maybe they just see games as one big category and they just think all games compete with all games or something. I don't know. It really depends on how
It's
their marketing team
impossible
looks
to
at
know
it.
what they think. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you just don't know.
Again, marketing teams are lackluster at best in general.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I forgot for a substantial amount of time that they're published by the same company. But then we all lived through Cacao Games versus Pearl Abyss too, right? So the Lost Ark publisher is not the Lost Ark developer, in seeing how that plays out. Also in conjunction with them publishing and developing New World coming out at roughly the same time. But, another good point is it's been out for 5 years, I remember when a lot of BDO streamers got those Russian accounts through very shady Discords so they could stream it and pretend that they were in Russia or whatever they had to do to not get Twitch banned. But I don't know.
I don't think Twitch cares if you stream the Russian version. I see people doing it all the time.
I think Twitch only cares when like thousands of people report you.
Wait, why would it be?
Hunter, did you?
The Japanese version is region locked, so you can't do it there. That's actually like risky. I mean, Twitch doesn't care unless the developer
the Russian
cares.
thing was it was the same thing. Russia was the same thing.
Russia doesn't have region lock, so anybody can play Russia.
They did. When we all played it, we were all buying like Russian social security numbers or something, and we all had to use
did the same
VPN.
with like the Korean accounts as well.
Really?
Like
Really?
weird
I didn't
phone
hear
number
that.
thing. There's like a weird phone number.
Yeah,
thing you
that's
could
what it
use
was.
to get the account. Yeah.
Yep, that's what it was.
Well,
I
Amazon
did it
already
off
has my
screen.
phone number, so I guess I'm fine with that.
Amazon has way more than your phone number.
Oh, dude,
Alexa,
Amazon has my blood
Give me
type.
Potion Shop's real name. I may have accidentally and partially drunkenly sent some people to your stream to ask you if your real name is Chris.
Yeah, I confirmed that was true.
Is it?
Wait,
Did I remember
there's no
correctly?
way your name is Chris.
He introduced
You
himself
don't even
at
look like a
TwitchCon.
Chris.
There's no
Is your
way
name really
is
Chris?
No comment.
Ah, I remembered right!
Chris, or like Christopher Chris.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my god, that's funny. Okay.
Wait, that means half of this podcast are Chris's.
Yep.
Wait, Mora,
kinda
you're
weird.
Chris?
Yeah.
I mean, it's in a roundabout way.
Nobody calls him Chris though.
Yeah, nobody calls me that, but it's technically my name.
He's so uncomfortable.
Should we just rename this to the Chris and Chris podcast?
Wait, Potion has color now. He's blushing, bro. Look at
He is. I'm sorry, man.
I
didn't
feel
mean
like
to
I
embarrass you.
shouldn't let you guys astray. My name is not actually Chris. All right.
Oh, it isn't?
Wow.
Fuck. He told me
I knew
his
he would
name.
never give
and
us
I
his real
forgot.
name.
No, he told me his name and I fucking forgot, man.
It's
Now
something
it's
weird.
bothering me.
It's some weird like
No, it's some normal white guy name.
no, it's
Tyler?
like Bartholomew or something.
No, it's not. It's not more than
I'm
two
pretty sure it's
syllables.
Bartholomew.
It would be
David?
wonderful if it was. It would make sense, but it's some normal white guy name. I'm Eric.
Yo, can I be here while he's saying that?
I already knew Tim's name because he forgot to change it when he PayPal'd me.
What, 5 years ago?
Yep.
My last
Dude, I know
name's
so
crazy,
many.
though,
I know
isn't it?
so many people's names because of PayPal. I have
me
so
too.
much power. You guys have no idea.
Todd?
Bro, I
What's
don't.
your name?
I
Kevin?
blackmail Mr. Pay to Win on a weekly basis.
Oh yeah, I followed
you
him
pay
on Twitter
up,
for a
son.
while. Oh, it
His
is.
Twitter's
Ooh,
lit.
somebody knows your name. I remember your name now, Potion.
So
That's
remembers my
right.
name.
What is it?
Yeah. Jake.
Nope.
Ah.
No way. No way.
Got it. Fuck, it was something. You email it to me. I won't tell anybody, but it's driving me nuts.
Neighboron says Gunther. I think that's correct. I think Gunther is the name.
Gunther?
You're hereby call me Gunther from this day forth.
Isn't it Gunther? Aren't you like?
No, it's definitely pronounced Gunther if it's Potion's name.
I tried to get Moreline to invite me over to his house when I was at TwitchCon, but he wouldn't do it. Actually,
What
he
do you
invited me over.
mean?
I had to. The door was too short for me to get into. He's like, "No, come on, bro.
My
come on
house
in." I
is
was like, "I can't."
huge. False.
Your head's
Live in
like
a
almost hitting the
mansion.
ceiling.
I have a 2-foot archway that you can walk through. Wait, I meant 2 stories? I meant shit! I'm too busy schooling useless and triple triad right now to make sentences.
That's fair. That's fair. This was a good
I'm gonna make a
podcast, man. This was
montage
fun. Of what? Of
of
killing
just
usage?
how much I've been obliterating him. Yeah, it's been wild, dude. Another.
How do I make a
8-1.
deck?
Oh my god.
How do I make a
Wait,
deck?
you guys
You
picked
just go to
Star
Gold
Wars
Saucer and you get like some starter cards.
Okay, so how do I get to Gold Saucer?
Have you gone to Ul'dah yet? It's next to Ul'dah.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a quest in Ul'dah where someone gives you a ticket and then you use that ticket to go there.
Okay, I'll have my chat direct me. We should probably wrap up the podcast. Is there any other MMO related things you guys want to talk about? By the way, I'm excited for Overwatch 2, but I'm trying to figure out if you're permanently banned from Overwatch 1, will they allow you into Overwatch 2?
Isn't it just a map? Basically just like a map pack for Overwatch 1?
Well, it's going from 6 to 5 people too, and I'm hoping that I can play on my main. And I won't tell people that they're drilling on the keyboard this time because I'm reformed, I promise.
Yeah, reformed.
Tim, you and shooters, bro. There's no way.
What do you mean?
Like you were talking about Overwatch 2, you're gonna get. There's no way, dude. You're gonna get banned again.
Oh, I thought like I wasn't good at them. I was like, I'm LEM fucking CS:GO, bro.
No. I'm talking about like anything that has all like voice chat. You're kind of fucked, bro.
Dude, I promise. Without BDO in my life, I'm gonna be Gucci. Fuck you, Chris.
Chris.
I don't even care if that's not your name. I'm gonna call you Chris until you tell me what your name is, and then I'll never tell.
I'm gonna
people
call
what
him
your name
Gunther.
is. Yeah, I know.
Chris Gunther Shop TV, bro.
And then I think Kerr's family name is his real name, right?
Sure, let's go
Mr.
with
Kerr.
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Okay. Well, that was episode 51 of Nerds and Words. I want to thank everybody who listened through this entire thing as we're kind of shifting and becoming more eclectic. I'd actually really be interested in the feedback. I go through and look at Potion Shop's comments pretty often as he uploads it to YouTube. So if you guys want to post a comment in the YouTube link of Potion Shop for this, I'd be interested on your feedback on how this went. But I think we're going to make this, equal parts BDO, Final Fantasy, and then, whatever else is coming up in the coming weeks. So if you guys have interesting news about MMOs that you want to share with us, then you'd like for us to discuss, be happy to take a look at that. If you got comments on the feedback, I'll take a look at that. But however you want to shake it, let's roll out the red carpet for each one of us before we close this out. Kerr, what do you got going on the stream this week, my friend?
Yo, I got nothing crazy going on. I'm just trying to figure out something to do, bro. So I guess I'm gonna be watching Moreland play Final Fantasy, and then you play a little Final Fantasy if you stream it. I got nothing on the docket. I'm like lost.
Sorry to hear that, man. I thought you were gonna play some League of Legends while you're like off school.
Yeah, I'll play a little bit of that, but I just enjoying having.
Bro, pick up HOTS. Dude, I play HOTS.
I have
Friday
HOTS,
night.
bro, but none of my friends play it. They're like, that game's shit, bro. It's dead. Lol.
Yeah, you have dumb friends.
Oh, dude, HOTS is so good. Yeah,
I'm always down to play HOTS, dude.
Yeah, I get shit faced and
Rain or main?
Destroy quick play.
Are you unironically a Rainer main?
I'm actually a Rain or main. Yeah.
Wow.
I've played Illidan and what's the girl who disables towers?
Sylvanas.
Yeah, I played those
Sylvanas.
two. Those are the two I've played in it.
Moreland, what's going on with you this week, man? What's your Final Fantasy goal?
I'm gonna get every single job to max level, including all the crafting jobs. So that should keep you busy for a little while. Yeah, I've just been going around like playing the game on story mode and getting distracted. I'm not really in a hurry. The only thing I don't like about Final Fantasy is all the people warning me about how much I'm gonna hate the combat, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I can't believe like there's so many people that I know that play this game already. So I'm looking forward to getting to the point where I have some group content because the story mode is pretty singular so far. But yeah, it's just going to be a bunch of FF14 mainly until at least until the New World beta. I'm trying to think if there's like any single player content coming out that I might mess with. Maybe I'll go back and finish like the Doom Eternal DLC because I bought the second half and never did it. So we might have some other variety coming in, but I think this game's going to keep me hooked for quite a while.
Potion Shop, tell us about BDO for the next 600 hours. That groan. Oh man, that might be the most honest thing I've ever heard come out of your mouth. Like, you're not a dishonest person, but that sound was so honest. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I will say about the podcast is not currently going up on Spotify because of my Infinite stream, and that's been going for the last month, so there's been none of them going on Spotify, but I will catch up on those when the Infinite stream is done and get all that caught up on there. They are on my YouTube for now because all I have to do is highlight them and send them, and they're just done, so it's easy for YouTube, but I can't use any of my software when I'm streaming, so I can't do them on Spotify. Aside from BDO, I mean, maybe push energy.
What's your BDO goal?
I've done, like, the only other goals I have are like 66 on lawn, which is not what I want to do because I just got done playing it for 3 weeks, and 62 on all characters, which is also equally boring. So I mean, I've done everything. Like, I'm contemplating going back into life skills, maybe.
Oh.
You could save silver for the imminent Catfish crash that's coming.
Yeah, with the new changes on Global Lab, there'll be Catfish crash for sure. I don't know. Like, maybe this guys will get probably C20 in the boots, and I'll get me, because I'm C19 right now, so I guess cap out the last level on that this week, and I don't know.
Wow,
That's there. Maybe
so
some
tune into Potion Shop for exciting BDO content.
I mean, I'll be doing something. That's for sure. I'll be doing something. We'll make it up as we go.
You know what I would tune in for? You know, just my 2 cents. I'm sure it means nothing, but I'd like to see you hang out at the 1v1 arena with Kerr on your lawn. I think that would be some good content.
Dude, it's fun, bro. You should.
I don't have any money right now to tag it. I have the Corsair tagged, and it's on ninja weapons.
Oh Christ, that's right.
You can style on people with a ninja, dude.
Nope.
I tried grabbing this lawn who was grinding, and I tried grabbing her 5 times, and I just gave up.
Dude, just switch to Succession, okay? Just switch to Succession and press buttons like most other ninjas. Awakening is hard, but Succession is so straightforward and virtually plays itself.
It's kind of
on the low end.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Why you got going on, Tim?
This week for me is going to be my first week of Final Fantasy. I'm so excited. I've been really enjoying watching other people's streams. I was hanging out in I was hanging out in Sugar Angel's stream earlier, and she was so kind to raid me just from hanging out on my first Final Fantasy stream. So I'm really enjoying getting to know the community a little bit and diving into the game, and I'm super happy that Moreland and a lot of his community is doing it too. I hope some people follow me here. While we wait, we've got 20 more days as of the recording of this until New World, so that's what I'm super excited for. But I think I'm going to try to build a little bit of a home here on Final Fantasy 14, see how it goes. It may fail, but I doubt it. So that's what's going on here. I am saying sayonara to BDO. I'm happy to keep up with it. I'm not going to log on, but I'm not going to uninstall it. But so that's what's going on with me. So on behalf of Kerr, Moreland TV, Potion Shop TV, my name is Tim Allen 1337. This was the Nerds and Words podcast. And believe it or not, this is our 51st episode. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening, tuning in, however you do on Spotify, YouTube, or watching us live at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific on Fridays, most of the time. And I want to collectively and individually thank my mates here for this podcast. I appreciate you guys, the content that we do, and honestly, just kind of talking as friends once a week. And I will see everybody next week. Have a great week. Stay healthy. Get some sun. Cheers.